Hello, everyone. This is Kev, your weekend warrior, back for another Friday on Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And I have to be honest with you guys. I have to be brutally honest with you. I didn't really have any idea what I was going to do this broadcast on, like at all. So I guess this would be another space broadcast about the space because every week there are tons of broadcasts about the space. And I do spend some time defending the space. I would say I'm one of the smaller channels that actually does it, and it's a thankless task. I mean, for real. I mean, I don't expect a cookie for it, but have I really given thought to what this space is actually for? So the so the question is tonight, what exactly is the space for? Because I understand that even you know even a lot of the people who have watched these broadcasts and participated in the chats in the past probably know more about the space than a lot of the content creators. I mean, my understanding is some of you guys have been watching for 2, 3, 4, maybe even 6 years. I know there's definitely been some guys that are in the space now that have been around for a lot of years. And I mean, that's all well and good. But as far as the space itself, it's real funny to see how people who say they love the space and represent the space express what they actually think of the space. You would think that it would probably be a little bit better, or, you know, but but I mean, we all have our criticisms. We all have our own opinion about it. I mean, and this is not a broadcast to complain about the people who have gripes and who have beefs with the space. Like I said, look at the title. What exactly is this space for? Um, I think that there are some of people in the space has done a pretty good job representing the space itself and through expressing through their content what the space embodies. The complainers, you got to understand they're just like trolls. The more life you give them, the more they'll flourish. Uh, and also, if as you walk in, can you please hit that like button? And if it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button as well. Um, I have 4 likes. I have 9 watching. So hey, yeah, yeah, it's still like not even 10 minutes yet. Uh, yeah. So what exactly is this space for? Uh, and a lot of people will tell you that it's about barbershop conversations between men. Others will tell you about it's a way for black men to express ourselves and voice our concerns for uh, whatever's going on in Western culture as far as black people. And my understanding and what I want everyone's understanding of black people when you come to this channel is black men, black women, and black children. Um, should it be about more than what the space is? That's for the people to decide. And I find that, and I've said this before, the most popular conversation right now is the relationship conversation. It's the most popular. Everyone loves to talk about uh, female nature, male nature, marriage, relationships, men telling women stuff, women telling men stuff. Um, I would say that's a very big popular conversation because everyone wants to talk about it. And yet we do have those who complain about those exact discussions. Well, those who can feel free to do content that they feel should represent the space. Now, as far as what Kev feels should represent the space, just, I say it should be a variety of things. It should be a variety of things. But the main purpose, from what I understand, from what I've heard from the popular collective, is to help black men, to uplift black men, as far as the black manosphere space. Now, the white manosphere, it's whatever over there. It's whatever. If you want to believe that the black manosphere is a derivative of the white manosphere, then that's your belief. Um, but at the end of the day, black manosphere is a label. It's a label like any other. It's a label like black men being brutally honest. They're all just labels. What is is I don't know. Another Matrix reference. These are just labels. These are just names. It's the feeling. Is what you put into it is what counts. So if the black manosphere is going to be anything, then probably need to have bigger. I would say. I don't know. I don't know. Just put something into it, and the space is itself is doing just fine. I would say it is, despite the negativity that comes its way. I would say that people who claim to be a part of this thing, I would say called the Black Manosphere, are brave people because the space has so much toxicity and shit thrown its way. There are some people who are embarrassed by the space just because of that. I would probably say a lot of it is just a lack of courage in facing all the adversity. See, I can accept that everybody isn't like me or everybody isn't supposed to be on the same page that I'm on. I even with the chat, even with the mods, I try to encourage the mods. If someone says something in disagreement or in accordance to what I'm saying, just kind of let them rock because dissenting opinions are necessary for proper discourse and conversations. And a lot of content, I would say a lot of content creators just don't get that. At the end of the day, this is how we grow. Good mothers, why is there a black section of the manosphere? Uh, yeah, same reason why there's a black anything else. There's a black anything else. We as black men know that there are a set of concerns that we must deal with, but it ain't like when it's like the our female counterparts talk about their specific set of concerns. Our concerns involve everyone, whether we want to admit it or not. The concerns of black men do kind of involve the concerns of black women and black children. Uh, like I said, the understanding of black people on this channel is black men, black women, black children. So, and that separation has always been made, whether we as blacks made that separation or not. And I don't really feel like that. I don't feel all that feel, because we like to deal in facts. Um, I really believe, and from what I've observed, that separation is going to be forced on us anyway. It's like I know that I can't relate as a black man living in America to someone like a white manosphere member, like I would say bulldog mindset. That's one of the guys, or what was that? What was that one that keep flinging poo toward Donovan Sharp, 21 Studios? Yeah, I know I can't relate to those guys and their experience. So, um, so I think that's is important that it is a black sector with black men because I'm going to put it to you like this. The most disrespected group of men in Western culture right now is the heterosexual black man. And that's not me victimizing black men. There needs to be an enclave of men that address this. There needs to be. There needs to be a group of men addressing this concern. So, um, let me read a couple of these comments I had. Good mother, iron sharpens iron. Yeah, sure it does. You know, you can't sharpen iron with a poop sickle, and that's what some people try to do. So, Black Light Revolutions too. What's going on? Good mother, university. Let me see if I can. University indoctrinated feminism is systemically oppressing all the men and giving women preferential treatment, which makes them not take responsibility. Oh, yeah, that's kind of true. That's kind of true because I mean, very hard pressed to take accountability for anything, and also gaslighting and making me believe that I have to take accountability for their baby daddies getting them pregnant. Um, yeah, I read a post earlier on Facebook, and it was this guy that was like basically like, how can you hold single mothers accountable when you hung out with guys that are deadbeat dads? And I'm shoot, in my younger life, yeah, I would say I was guilty of that. Oh, I was guilty of hanging around a couple of guys that were deadbeat fathers, but I will tell you what was significant. You know, the common denominator was their baby mamas were still fucking them. So it's like, how can I take that much responsibility for what you decide to do sexually? I can't. I am not what you call a dick policeman. so, so yeah, it's always quick to say it takes two to tango, but it's like you're forgetting. Okay, if it takes two to tango, and the man is responsible, which he is, then there's another party that is responsible as well, that is accountable as well. And yes, neo feminism really let these women know that they don't have to do that. This space addresses a mentality that is tiresome, that is cumbersome, that is an albatross to our progress. And you got people who will defend it to the letter because most of which of that rhetoric is has a vagina attached to it. Intersectionality. Ooh, yeah. Intersectionality is an excuse. I'm glad you brought that word up, good mother. Intersectionality, where all heterosexual men get the most abuse. White men, though, get blamed for everything, even though they are also experiencing the same thing y'all are. Yeah, I'm not saying that our problems are completely separate. It's just that because of the separations that are made, that were made before a lot of us were even born, that is kind of hard to relate to their experiences. But from what I hear, I mean, and it's like, and it's like this. They always say that they spread this lie. No group of men disrespect their women more than black men, or talk down on their women like black men, which is a goddamn lie. And any black woman that says that or pushes that, they need to go live in the Middle East for a little bit. It won't be black men disrespecting them at all. They won't have to worry about that. I'm saying Western culture black men are actually the most tolerable, the least abusive. You know how that is? Because the women are the most flippant. They're the most argumentative. They're the most combative. Please stop. Every time a woman hears someone like me say that, they get so triggered and mad, and then they end up doing it anyway. That's the funny part. They end up doing it anyway. They'll get mad for you expressing the difficulty on dealing with them, and then they prove you right. But that word intersectionality, yeah, that is a term coined by feminists. Basically to say that if you help one group of people, you're helping all people, which is the policies that are run by liberal democratic beliefs. Liberal Democrats use that intersectionality principle to put, yet again, put black people at the back of the bus. That's what it is. That's why you got, and like I say, I don't anything, anybody that's had anything bad happen to them. I'm really sorry, and nobody should have to die for a belief. No one. No one should have to die for someone else's belief. But intersectionality is used just like I said. They give you symbolism. A lot of people aren't very happy with the Juneteenth celebration thing, and I can't really blame them. I mean, there's a lot behind that. Mm. The fundamental problem is feminist indoctrination that calls women to wage war against men. The polarization between the sexes is causing all the men to fight each other. Mm. Yeah, that's kind of, I have a harsh view on something like that. I would say, as always, simps versus or Pookies versus the critically thinking black man. Because there is it seems like it's either one with us men is either one extreme or it's the other extreme. And yes, that does sometimes butt head and causes a little and this is very peculiar using this terminology, dick measuring. Because to an extent, black men do have Highlander complex. Like a lot of black men want their thought process to reign supreme. And that's why we do fight each other a whole lot. And a lot of that energy comes from trying to be number one with women. Trying to be like, oh, okay, they're not disrespecting me, so you don't know what the fuck you talking about, dude. And that's one fundamental problem that black men do face. If we're disrespected, we're gaslighted immediately, and it's somehow our fault if a black woman does it to us. Yeah, just think about this for a second. If they go off on you in public, no one will say anything. In fact, people start gravitating toward her, being on her side. I mean, she could be shouting, she could be cursing. There are people snickering around her, laughing, and acting like there's nothing wrong. You bet not growl and say, "Hey," and before you can get your second word out, everyone's rushing you to calm you down. If they start seeing you get a little animated, everybody's like, "Oh man, you need to." Oh no, do understand that. Dub Heezy, what's going on? And Luigi, I'm sure that V is just a pun on the name Luigi. What's going on? Absalom Pianki Television. What is going on tonight? So, so exactly what is this space for is the question tonight. The space exactly this the the space is for whoever comes to the space to watch, the content creators. Whoever your content resonates with, that's who the space is for. And if it's a male or a female resonating in a place called the Black Manosphere, then that was entirely up to the people. That's nothing that is up to me solely and entirely. And the way that is up to me is that uh, I make content that is interesting to the people that are watching, or you're going to watch the replay later on. That's how I affect it. Aiko Giamin, what's going on? Nick O, what's going on? Luigi, I arrive here from typing Manosphere and filtering for live videos. Oh, okay. So, are you subbed? If not, make sure you're subbed. Hit like on the hit the like button. And for those of you out here that do this to every one of my videos, you can go ahead and hit that like button as well, dislike button as well. So, I mean, which is really no problem for me. I mean, it's all good. Oh, 15 likes. Great. 12 watching, 15 likes. That's a pretty good ratio. Good mother, I'm in YouTube jail for a copyright strike. Yeah, gotta be careful with that stuff sometimes, but usually you get a very easy copyright strike on using certain music. Like I know that you can't use any of Dr. Dre's music, can't use any of Kendrick Lamar's music. You can't use any of Rihanna's music or anything like that. I use non-copyrighted music and music that I make from an app, and that's all I do. And that's the whole point to being a content creator. You know, you come up with the subject matter. You use the music that you that won't get you a copyright strike. But I mean, you could have used like someone else's YouTube video, and if they want to call copyright strike, like a certain content creator always warns people, then they can do that. Luigi, I know you are very opinionated. We will need to see what you are really doing in the manosphere. I mean, yeah, I know that I'm in the court of public opinion just like anyone else. I know that I'm not excluded. But what I'm doing here in the space is I was welcomed to the space by other content creators within the space. So and a lot of the people who watch Manosphere content creators watch this program as well. I could go down the list of people who no, that was directed at Good Mother. Oh, okay, well, okay. All right. Well, yeah, the chat. Yeah, I'm. The chat is its own little world, and you guys keep it 100 down there. So cool. Nick O, what's going on? I think black men should have policed this space better. I think that this place has a lot of gems, Kev, Roger, MOT, and KS, but the black man need not appease riffraff. It's his own undoing. Yeah, let me see if I can decipher that. As are you basically saying be careful who you welcome to the space? Yeah, and let me talk about this whole. I said the blacks need to appease riffraff. Okay, yeah, it's like sometimes, yeah. If your space, if the space, if your contribution to the space goes in a certain direction, that it could be detrimental. But yeah, this space is for different kinds of blacks, different kinds of black men. Okay. No, I don't think the space has been infiltrated. I think the space is just growing. No, I don't think it's an alphabet incursion like a lot of or a few content creators have been implying that it is an alphabet incursion going on. There's also a content creator that implies that the black manosphere does not like married men or, that discourages marriage. Um, I'm a married man. So, so how can that be? There are several content creators that are married in this space. So how can we be against marriage? And I know for Roger, he promotes black marriage, and the black family getting back on track because guess what Roger is? Roger is a black man. This I see you down there. Oh yeah, alphabet. Yeah, like I mean, I have no problem with anybody being here. I'm not a gatekeeper. Like I said, it's up to the people. It's up to the people, really. I can't say that another content creator does not belong here. In fact, I don't like the only thing that I would suggest about people who say that other content creators don't belong here is to be weary of those guys. Because if they're saying other content creators should not be here and those content creators have an audience, then guess what that looks like? Good mother. Luigi, I haven't seen you. What I'm really doing in the manosphere is collecting data to take down the tyrannical matriarchy, which actually start at the university level. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sound like you're putting some thought into that one. Okay. Yeah. But I'll tell you what I don't think the space is. I don't think this is a misogynistic space that is just trying to take the black woman down and wants to see the black woman suffer, because anyone that is telling you that just wants to take it to an extreme where it does not belong. And often the people who push that rhetoric refuse to face people who are in the manosphere. I mean, sometimes they do come over, but not very often. There's one in particular that doesn't at all. I'm just going to talk about what idiots I think they are. I don't want to go on a panel with any of them. I was like, okay, then. That's called a pussy. Hybrid Impact 83. Uh, like I said, like things. I know you're trying to explain things to Luigi, and Luigi, thanks for tuning in. But um, just like it's not up to me to recognize who is belongs and who doesn't, same thing goes for Luigi. It's not up to him who belongs and who doesn't. And no one has to answer anyone's question. That's three times out of five. Okay, but like I said, thank you all for being here. And just hey, welcome each other. The space needs to grow. The space needs to get more powerful. Now, that is one of my visions for the space without being selfish. Space needs to get more powerful, more potent. Oh, you're MGTOW. Okay. Um, I've been called red pill. And honestly, no one wants to be called blue pill, especially people like Mike Rashid. Like, dudes will say red pill is for suckers, but then will turn around and get mad when you call them blue pill. I don't get it. I'm not here to ask for permission. I'm here to tell you how it is. You can get grump. I don't care. You literally have no say at all in the manosphere. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with not telling people what they should and should not be doing here. I mean, and like I said, your opinion is welcome. Dissenting opinions are welcome. What up, Edward Anderson? You're MGTOW. Are you black MGTOW? I mean, you keep saying I'm MGTOW, MGTOW. It's like, okay, all right, cool. I'm a black. The manosphere follows. Okay. So basically, you're saying that MGTOW is in charge of the manosphere. What manosphere are you referring to? You said there's no black MGTOW. Oh, so you're Caucasian? So you can see your way out of the manosphere with your attitude, to be honest. You sound like a fam. Oh boy. We got us a troll, y'all. We got us a troll. And you are officially are gonna stop being fed. Uh, okay, all right, Edward. But old boy got that 5 minutes though. Because Edward, Edward is because Edward is very versed in what the space is for, you know. So I'm sure he'll have a lot to say. But if you don't know that about Edward, All right. I can me. I represent the ain't shit niggas contingent. I guess you're a very productive ain't shit nigga, or you ain't shit nigga from Bizarro World. Oh, good God. Manosphere official. This ain't even your space. What the hell? If you aren't MGTOW, then you have no voice in the manosphere that matters. Period. If you aren't MGTOW, man, where the hell these guys coming from? I mean, is this the same guy? Oh man. All right. So let's do you like that too. Boom. Shit. Oh boy. Oh, I remember that guy. He left a comment on one of my videos. And he is projecting and trusts no woman in most men, and I'm sure has good reason to. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he does too. I mean, we're all having problems, but if like I said, if y'all want to come over here and tell me that I'm not a part of the manosphere, then that's fine. I mean, it's not really for me to say who's manosphere and who's not manosphere. Uh, okay, so that's the case. Yeah, yeah, I have my reservations about those guys too. Bronze Bird, what's going on? See these guys. I mean, does MGTOW. And I mean, I have no, and I will say this: I have no real animosity with MGTOW or anything like that. I mean, it's like I've never gone on diatribes and tirades against MGTOW. I haven't even gone on diatribes and tirades against passport bros or anything like that. So, I mean, it's all good with me. People have their opinions. So, what up, Edward? Okay, I guess when Edward gets everything straight, then he'll come on and start talking. But
Give me a sec.
okay, yeah. So give him a second. And while we're giving Edward a second, just please read the message that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Let's see. Hold on one second. Because somebody used a word last week that I'm going to use for. All right, cool.
All right, what's up? What's up?
What's going on, Edward?
Nah, nothing much. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Okay, yeah. The question I pose, well, the topic is exactly what is this space for? Uh, I'm gonna really tell you what inspired this topic is the fact that I hear a lot of well, quite a few content creators that are close to this space, that are in the space, saying what has happened to the space. Will complain about the space. Will shit on the space, and start saying this isn't what this space is for, but not very specific on what the space is for. But my clear understanding of the space for as long as I've been here is it's supposed to be a place for black men to express themselves in a variety of ways. It's not just for it's not just for one train of thought. It's for several trains of thought. So what
Yeah,
do you
I
think?
mean, I mean, if I want to be dismissive about it, I just say it's a lot of dudes bitching. But if I want to be productive about it, I'll just say a lot of dudes are always politicking. That shit has been going on since I got here. It's all it's. I don't want to say it's cloud chasing, but it's a political move. It's a political move. You got people that they got a lot of their channel is built around always they want to be in the space, and I'm not saying everybody's like this because there's levels to it. But you have some people that want to be in the space, but they always criticize the space, and you got people that they're relatively new in the space, and then they'll start saying that shit. Or what'll happen is they haven't been in here long enough to where they've seen the cycles. Or you got dudes that are older. You got sometimes dudes from 1.0 which will rear their head and think they're gonna tell us what 2.0 what to do when 2.0 had to pretty much recreate the space from the bottom up. Or you got bigger YouTubers like Tommy Soto, for example, that want to, they people want to do stuff for their own selfish ends. And yeah, I mean that's really where it starts and where it ends. And some people have some points, but usually a lot of the motivations and intentions behind it, those dudes may believe it's good, but it's not. And the last thing I'll say too is a lot of dudes like to use the criticizing the manosphere as a whole as a way of hating on other brothers. It's a smoke screen. That's usually probably the biggest issue I have with it. Is it's a smoke screen and a political tool to really allow them to kind of say what they don't like without being said it's a hater. And to the uninitiated, especially if you like that content creator, you may, you know, you may go along with it depending on how extreme they're being. But yeah, that's where it starts and that's where it ends.
Okay. Okay. Well, shout out to Antoine Johnson. Thank you for the super chat. Says that this space and others like it is information based. You do with the information what you will take some of it, take all. It's up to the information. Is up to the individual. Uh,
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, but thanks for the super chat. Yeah, what you do with the information is totally on you. And if some people feel a certain kind of way about the space, you could choose to not watch. I don't
it,
obligate myself to watch people that I don't like necessarily. I do look for dissenting opinions just to see where people are coming from. But if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not going to force myself to watch it. You know.
yeah. Like I there's a difference because so and so there's a couple of variables here. Number one is on the audience side, you have a lot of audience members where they get too emotionally invested in this space, like they really do. Like they get very emotionally invested, and then you have people that they will like certain content creators, and then they'll turn against those content creators rather than just you can just unsubscribe and fall out and fall and just say, look, okay, I don't like the content no more. But they actually start attacking and getting angry. Like I remember when BGS did BGS for women. This was before, Kevin's show. And dudes who really wanted to say he doesn't have a right to have a YouTube channel because he did that. Like people are really saying, well, BGS is trying to infiltrate this space. Look, he did BGS for women. And I'm like, have you actually listened to it? But just because BGS was checking the hell out of those women. And Kevin would go over there from time to time and Rom. So you talking about experienced black men that either were married or had kids, dudes that had lived life and dudes that were not, they were certified not lames. You know what I'm saying? Very well rounded black men checking these chicks from globally. But you had dudes that they just they were having fucking periods over it. And I don't even say it to be mad, but it's like, dude, it's a YouTube channel. You really think that has like, oh, well, that's gonna be start of a trend, and oh my God, women are gonna get in this space. Like, here's another, and so the audience members were losing their mind, and um, you got audience members where they start trolling motherfuckers. Well, it's like if they don't like somebody, they actually think they have a right to tell this person whether they have a right to have a YouTube channel or not. Like and it's a bunch of fucking single mother bullshit on the audience side. Now on the creator side, some of it is motivated by money. That's the political stuff. So they start seeing super chats, they start seeing that there's money moving. They want that money to move in a direction, but they don't want to look like that's what they're doing. They want certain narratives to move. Maybe they've changed their mind on certain narratives. So they want to move the whole space in a certain direction. There's a lot of different motivations or a combination of motivations for different people. But generally, it comes down to folks wanting, and I'm not saying that you can never criticize the space. I'm not saying you can't never have commentary on the space. But when you have people where it's like they're doing it a lot, and they're being alarmist about it, there's usually other motivations behind that they just don't want to be upfront about because it's not going to make them look, the most honorable.
I mean, there are people who do criticize the space just because they want to see the space improve, but there are just people that go overboard and just start flat out lying. like saying
Yeah,
that
and
it's full of, I mean, the ridiculous motherfuckers, like the ones that say they're full of alphabet people, or they justify pedophilia because they want virgins, and it's always what they want, they
I,
want, they want, they want. It's always that.
and, and to keep it real, most of them dudes they don't got the balls to be that extreme on females because they'll get targeted for hate speech. So with women, you at least gotta be accurate with what you're saying because you're just gonna be targeted for hate speech. I mean, Hammer just told me his channel got deleted. Hammer is very mild, huh? Hammer's mild as hell. So I mean, you know what goes on with Roger, and Roger for the most part is, he can go hard, but he's not, you know what I'm saying? He's not built on being just like shock jock shit. And he's been through multiple channels, so you know that. See, it's easy you can say anything about black men and kind of get away
Yeah,
with it.
absolutely.
You can say
I agree with
abort
that.
black male baby. So it doesn't take a lot of balls to critique black men. It really does. It really
No,
doesn't. You can
and here's
critique black men in open society and
and
nothing
here's
happens. Go ahead.
and here's the point I'll make about that. That's an indictment of, that's saying that black men aren't reporting their channels like that. The stuff that's offensive to black men, those channels aren't getting reported. They're not getting flagged. They're not getting
No,
deleted. But somebody like a game changer, and like you just said, Hammer, yeah, those channels are getting deleted for not even saying, just for being targeted. And Hammer wasn't that hard. In fact, shit, Hammer let the females have a lot of that stuff too.
which is
They,
also another reason, by the way, I don't intermit. Like, look, man, I have no problem having. I have about like a 5% female rate, but I have no problem having more women on my channel. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with like a 70-30 ratio. Obviously, 70% men. But the thing about it is, when you start to deal with more women on the algorithm, and the algorithm tries to promote that, it also gives you potential to promote it to females that just hate men, just hate men. And so that's why. So if you notice, like a lot of the channels that really get messed with are channels that tend to be very open to having more women on. Maybe not, they're not built around having women, but they may mind that 70-30, you know. And the problem is there's a lot of women that hate women that are adjacent to women and may be otherwise there. So if a female finds my shit, that means they're okay. Like they can listen to Tommy and generally be alright. So, and this is why again Tommy's channel probably got knocked down a lot. See, a lot of people don't pay attention to that because if you deal with a lot of women, a lot of those women are listening to those absolutely just some. I mean, some of the shit that some of these females say because hate will age your ass. It really will. And the energy that it takes, it's like on some serious Sith Lord shit. Did they be and be like, are you serious? And these are coming from the people that say who hurt you. I'm like, I'm not even gonna use the R word, but you would think it's like that level of hatred. That like that's what happens to them the way they talk. And it'll be well, your high school sweetheart cheated on you or some shit. I'm like, are you serious? Um, but it's a lot of reasons why people do it. And at the end of the day, you just got to stay focused on what you're doing and why you're doing it and growing your shit. Because if you get too if you get too caught up in that, because even sometimes with me, I kind of a lot of my stuff is commenting on what somebody else did as far as a point that they made, and even I get caught up on the politics a little bit too much to my liking. Um, so because it's a lot of really great opportunity right now. Like this is an incredible time to actually be in the manosphere. It's a lot of people coming into this space. If you know how to grow, it's a lot of growth that is potentially can happen. And I ain't even talking about because of Kevin. I'm just talking about like in general because it's a lot of like dovetails that are happening. Whether it's Kwame, Kevin, a lot of different stuff. A lot of people are finding this stuff for the first time because of where technology is right now. TVs, it's easy to get on the internet. YouTube is definitely branding position itself to be on people's TV, and so it's a lot. It's a lot of potential. It's a lot of potential if you know how to take advantage of it. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. This is like the new television because it amazes me how many people, like on a lot of these broadcasts, how many people will actually commit to watching it 3 and 4 hours. And a lot of these viewerships are in triple digits, and a lot of them are in quadruple digits. So, yes, there's a
Yeah.
certain, the environment is changing, definitely.
Yeah, because
You
this
know,
conversation, and if you're positioned in it, like you could kind of not rebrand yourself, but you could kind of take advantage of it. Because a lot of people, these are newer people. But I will say this, I want to say this, got to see other people on here on the married front. Like, one of the things, image matters. And I'm not even talking about it on some Kevin Samuels thing. I'm talking about it from we need to really get good at inoculating a lot of these basic points that people like to have. First of like for instance, the black manosphere is anti-marriage. Yeah, there are guys that are anti-marriage in the space. There are, but it's not to the point where if you're married, you're gonna be attacked. Now, if you're on some boys walking shit, then yes, you're gonna get checked because because a lot of those talking, you're gonna get challenged on your talking point. And quite frankly, this is one thing I love about this space. No matter, you can't just stand on I'm older than you, so my shit don't gotta make sense. But because I'm older than you, you just gotta deal with it. Or I'm younger, so I can just because I'm young and dumb, I can say whatever the fuck I want to say and just charge it to being young. Or I'm married, you're married, somebody's married, so they can say, well, at the end of the day, I'm married, so you ain't proved shit, or I got kids. Everybody has to come to the same exact logic point. Like you have to defend your argument. You have to be able to kind of defend it. And you can't just charge it to I'm just gonna charge it to well that's what the fuck I said and that's what the no, you're not gonna get away with that. That's what I love about this space. And what you have with a lot of people that hate the space where they'll use things like, oh well, you're anti this, you're anti marriage, you're anti black women, you're anti it's really a way of them getting around the fact that they can't validate their argument. That's why a lot of those folks will not speak to us. They will not talk to Dr. T.S. Johnson, Green Gorilla, or you're married. They won't BGS, anybody, people that are not known for like arguing and yelling. They won't do it because they know only takes a couple of questions to completely expose them. They know this. It's not just the women. I don't even worry about the women so much because they're gonna do what they're gonna do. It's the men that worry me because I don't give a fuck about what nobody says. If you can't get black men on a similar accord, I mean like it doesn't have to be like the majority, but if you can't get like 30% or like 35% on the same page, like I don't know what the fuck you think you're gonna do with changing these women. The environment will do it, but they'll always drag their feet and do the minimum. Like if you can't get black men when we're 6% of the population, I don't know how y'all go team up with white men to get these laws changed. Like we underestimate how invested in how things are these motherfuckers is. Like I had young dudes talking about how they thought it was funny a female hitting them until the bitch took a goddamn 4x4 to their ass when they was asleep to the face. Now they knew what time it was, and I'm like, so y'all gotta have near death experiences to realize that you said a bitch shouldn't just be hitting you. You give a fuck if you 6'2". Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny till she hit you in the fucking nuts. Anyway, I mean,
okay,
it was amazing to me how like just casual they were about that. But they learned. But anyway, you motherfucker talk about they threw hot scalding water on their back when they was asleep. Oh my god, damn. Anyway,
okay,
my bad.
okay. We got Donnie and we got perfect timing with Big Dennis. So what's up, Donnie? Long live the habitual line steppers.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I just
Johnny
want to
got
say
something
fuck you, Ed. Fuck you, Ed. Yeah, we can fight anytime. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Uh,
Hey,
long live
I'm
it's
like,
been a
God
habitual
damn.
minute.
line
It's been
steppers.
a minute. It's been you almost got dropped down, Donnie. He's like, oh shit.
I'm like, this dude goes all kinds of limbs. God damn.
Yeah. He got me with BGS about 3 times so far because I be letting my guard down. But now I do a mic check. When somebody come to my motherfucker, I say, "Hey, what's up? Who are you? What's up? What's up?" Say something. That way, because that nigga sit on there for a minute before he say something. People forget that. That's one of them
Nigga's a
DC sniper
master
motherfuckers.
troll. That nigga is a master. Yeah, but I haven't been listening. I
Yeah.
just got through installing this alternator on my car, so I had been busy with this, and then it just clicked in. So I ain't had no sunlight. I was trying to get this shit done. It's 115 out here, so I haven't been listening to the broadcast. I only heard the last couple minutes while I was on. But
Uh,
yeah, long live the habitual line steppers. Let me catch up and figure out what's going on, and I'll
And it's
contribute
just
when I can.
niggas bitching about the manosphere, talk about the manosphere. It's getting infiltrated by homosexuals. The manosphere hates women. The man, that typical bullshit. Don't get me started on Mike Rashid and Boyce Watkins. Basically
What
that those
what
are
did
two
Mike
sides of the
receive though?
same. You what? Oh, you've been out of the loop. You've been
Yeah,
out of
nigga,
the
cause
loop.
that hurt, nigga. That hurt, cause I used to follow Mike Rashid for the workouts, nigga. What did he say, nigga? That
Man,
hurts.
Mike Rashid is a fucking jock for real. Like he is a jock stereotype. He talking about anyway. Kev, if you want to bring that up, because I don't want to change the trajectory of your show, because I could go on and on about this.
Mike Rashid got mad with Fresh and Fit podcast. What did they called him Blue Pill, or he said something like
I'm
red.
I,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and because this is gonna drive it home. If you want your feelings hurt, I'm about to fuck you up, Donnie. Go to Jessica X's channel. I don't give a fuck. You don't
Oh
fuck with her,
no!
whatever.
Oh
He
no!
called in the Jessica X's channel after niggas roasted him. He got like the Boyce Watkins special because he was talking
Oh
stupid like Boyce
no!
Watkins, and he was talking stupid. Like, no, this nigga, no, Fresh and Fit didn't do shit. He's cool with Fresh and Fit. He got mad because of the comments. This nigga wins the award for mostly. Look, man, I know he's a big dude, but I'm just saying, real talk, dude, you're sensitive when it comes to them comments, yo. This dude has got to
Big
be like,
big don't mean he
he
can
is
fight. But
real.
go ahead.
We got an issue.
Well, I'm not. I'm just
Issue
saying.
with sensitivity
He,
right now. We
he
got a real issue with sensitivity right now. That's
he's
why
real. Like, but
that's why
what?
I came up. I
Well,
want not to interrupt, but
yeah.
Kev, I just want to let you know I got flagged last night, so I'm down for 7 days. So that's why I jumped up as I heard y'all speak. I don't know what's going on right now, but it's a lot of sensitivity right now. So I got
Flag.
my first strike, and I'm down for 7 days. Somebody flagged me. I was in the middle of a mix last night. And I was doing a mix dedicated to the sensitivity in the manosphere, and somebody flagged me, bro. Straight
And
up.
it be people that you would never think would get flagged, because you would think somebody would have got my ass by now. And that for all y'all to get mad at me for making my titles like a nigga that can't read, like Floyd Mayweather, this is why. That way, only the motherfuckers that fuck with me see my shit. When I look at my algorithm, 75% of my viewers are subscribers. It's like literally 75% are subscribers. I'm like, yep, that's the right ratio. No new niggas, no new friends. It fucks
So
up my growth, but
Huh.
yeah.
Oh,
so
fuck
so what?
that.
I am curious, Kev, if you don't mind. I'm really curious what Mike Rashid said, because I don't know if anybody's done any of the Mike Rashid workouts, but I'm gonna tell you this: I've fought professionally,
A lot of
so
people
I'm
swear
not no
by his
stranger.
workouts in
I
the
am
space.
not.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
people.
I am not no lightweight when it comes to working out. That nigga hold me working out. I was like, listen, I can't do this shit. This nigga was in. Yeah, you got to do 45 more sets of this, and then you can move to the next. Nigga, I was done. It was a wrap for me. So, to me, to me that means that nigga spends the majority of his time in the gym and not in reality. So I don't know where the fuck he get off giving any kind of relationship advice. But go ahead.
Like I said, I can't do it justice. So basically, what happened? Just to be quick, he went on Fresh and Fit stuff. It was a great. He's been on there, I think, twice. It was a good. He left halfway in the one when the women started getting stupid. Like he left. Like that's crazy to me. But whatever, it makes sense when you hear the overall story. But the point is, he was on Fresh and Fit twice. He's cool with Fresh and Fit. He has said this, and he is like one of the videos where it's got like 5,000 comments. And to be fair, a lot of those comments are positive. So he pointed out, he had to point out like maybe like 200 that, they would call him blue pill, simp, whatever, you ain't red pill, blah, blah, blah. And this nigga he gets upset and he looks up the red pill. This is what he said with Reddit. And then he's got that show with Melissa Ford. So he wants to talk about the battle of the sexes. And he talking to Melissa Ford about this shit. And then he brought up Kevin. Melissa was a little bit kind of more nuanced about Kevin than he was. But he wanted to charge it to all these niggas, basically on some C Boogie shit. Basically, all these niggas are behind me when it comes to self-improvement. They need to outfit their way through and self-improve. They're all a bunch of incels, betas, whatever. You wouldn't say it to my face. Fast forward, Mediocre does a video about him. He's cool. He responds to that video. but because he was cool with what Mediocre said, he thought Mediocre was like balanced. And long story short, this nigga finds his way to Jessica X's channel. So Jessica X was doing a review of the video, one of the videos that he did, and he called in. He just hopped on that motherfucker, and we know it's him because he showed his face the whole time. And this nigga was talking about how his woman was attacking him, so he went in the bathroom to hide. And I am not capping. These
Nigga, wait,
were
whoa. This big nigga did what?
Well, he said he didn't want to do nothing to her, which I can understand. So he went in the bathroom for her ass to calm down. But he's sitting there at the other side of his mouth talking about, well, dudes ain't oppressed and da 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 da. Like, you gotta hear it. Jessica X is the simp whisperer. Like, it's literally I'll link it. It's basically an hour and 6 minutes into the video, and it's still on her channel. And this is out of his own work. This nigga is on some Boyce Watkins shit. Like, for real. And I'm talking about Boyce Watkins right now, talking about niggas hate women if they don't date single mothers. Like, that nigga thinks just like that.
Well, you know,
like,
you probably come from a single mother household, and a lot of them niggas think because I came from that, that's acceptable. And then you have to put in the aspect. Like I said before, I've done this nigga's workout. Them niggas, that nigga works out.
He's great. I'm sure he's great on that. Last thing I'm gonna say, this nigga said that a woman hit me 12 times, and I thought it was funny. It's cool. Women should be able to hit you and you not do shit. I'm not even saying hit back. I'm saying you should still break up with that bitch. Fuck. Like, I ain't gonna talk about hit back. Anyway, that's what he
doesn't have the amount of time that he spends in the gym. He don't have real life relationship experience. You can't sit in the gym for 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, still have to work. Because let's be honest, that before this nigga YouTube shit took off, he still had to work. You don't have a functional life if you are in the gym 6, 7 hours and you go to work. Where the fuck do you find the time to mess with women? So you taking anything at that point, and then you hit a certain level of celebrity. You still taking that business because you think that's the way it's supposed to be. This nigga don't live in reality.
No, yeah, and it was obvious when you hear. I mean, even the women, it was crazy on Jessica X stuff. You had like 2 women that said, "No, you don't." Like, they were disagreeing with that. You can't just let women just straight up hit you and then you just don't do shit and you stay in a relationship. And so it's very clear that he comes. It's very obvious. But at the end of the day, he's still gonna get to work because he got 1,400. He got 1.4 million subscribers.
That nigga is the buff version of the nigga with the hat from the breakdown. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? The nigga I said he had a perm and he got mad. I have hypodermaplegia. That nigga is a buff version of that nigga.
Oh, I know you're talking about
Paco.
Yeah, old psycho.
I don't know.
There is no difference between them 2 niggas except for one of them niggas is buff. That's it. Both of them niggas live in La La Land.
But you're telling me this man ran into the bathroom because his girlfriend was beating him.
Right.
I'm gonna get the fucking clip. Like, I'm telling you, you go see it. It's a beautiful hour because she got that nigga. She's the simp whisperer, and if anybody that says anything about Jessica X, she proves her worth. You don't gotta like her, but that shit is not possible with any of us because that nigga felt comfortable going over there, and then because as soon as she started to panel it up, he left.
The benefit of that. That speaks to the topic. Let's dig on that because I don't like her, and I don't think that. I think that's subverting the message. What is the benefit of that?
What is subverting the message?
Jessica X and simp whispering and that clown thinking he had a home to go there and do that. That's not what the space is for. And then these people are making money and benefiting off of our race to the bottom. We supposed to be building ourselves up. And if that was you, if he would have had to been forced to come to you, the conversation would have been differently. And young man would have had something to grow from versus something to laugh at. Right. And who is laughing? It's like the Dave Chappelle thing. I don't like her being in charge of that type of shit. Who is laughing?
Hey! Let me say this though. It was on him that he went over there. It wasn't.
People keep saying that, but this is the thing. That's why Angry Man came out and defined 4.0 and said 4.0 is goofy AF. And finally, I got somebody else that's popular in this space that is brave enough to say she ain't shit and she's subverting the And the clowns who keep letting her in and letting her live is clowns. We got to
Okay, so
kill that.
okay, dude. Hold on. This is one thing you need to hold on. Hold on. This is one thing that y'all got to understand about the manosphere. It don't matter. It don't matter. Hold on. It don't matter how. And I'm gonna say this because Angry Man knows it. It don't matter how loud and how much force you put behind something. At the end of the day, YouTube is a public platform and people got the right to do shit, and you can shame black men all you want to for listening to her, but unfortunately niggas are gonna listen to her, and quite frankly, I keep saying this, men don't got the ability, men do not have the ability to hold on, you yelling at me, you yelling at
Hey,
me
wait, one at a
is
time,
not
fellas.
going to
One at a
stop.
time, fellas.
Finish this shit.
You
Let Ed finish
yelling
his
at
statement,
me,
please.
you yelling at me is not going to stop other
You
dudes.
are
Finish.
putting a light
Okay,
on yourself.
let it
One at
out,
a
let
time.
it out, let
One
it
at a
out.
You
time.
got to hold on, fam. You got to let
This
Ed
is
finish his
clearly on
statement
this
because Ed
nigga
was going
heart.
to a point.
Call
So I
this out.
understand if you disagree with Ed, but you got to let him finish his statement so that you can at least
I'm not
disagree with
gonna
him
let
from
him
a full
call me out
point.
of my character. I'm not gonna let him raise up a woman in the manosphere and then call me out for shaming men. I haven't shamed black men. You are caping for a woman and telling me that I am shaming black men on the manosphere panel. This is the perversion. That's why the topic is, what is the space for? And did you hear yourself? You are taking up for her, defending her reason for being here, and try to slide in that I'm shaming black men. Please, brother, before you go forward, since this is the manosphere and you talked about proving, qualify with what I said that shamed black men.
You call black men clowns.
I said Rashid was a clown. Now you again qualify how I said black men and how I shamed.
Okay, well I thought you said well black men are clowns. That's what I thought you
That's
said.
not good enough for me because in the same breath you took up for a woman. In the same breath that you tried to slide that comment in, you was taking up for a woman. And I'm speaking from Angry Man saying that 4.0 is goofy AF for allowing her in. She makes more money than any of us. Why are we taking for her? And then,
so first of all, I'm gonna ask you once, and I'm only gonna ask you once. Do not reference Angry Man as a mechanism. You stand on your own shit.
Okay, here you go,
Because
Edward.
anger. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why. Because what's not going to happen is I get annoyed, and then now I got to deal with that nigga, which I really do not want to do because he want to start wilding out. Because you want to invoke him, because honestly, that kind of shit needs to stop too. Because the reality is, Angry Man does not control a manosphere,
and neither do you. I'm gonna say
I didn't say I did, but I don't create any. I'm not out here telling motherfuckers what they should and should not do though.
We're not
Hey,
on your
fellas.
platform.
Edward,
Fellas.
I got a question for you.
Hold on. Let Dre have the floor for a second.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell you like this. If you notice, I kind of back away from the bullshit there. Like if you notice, you don't see me over there. And I hate to say, the only female in the manosphere that I would give any credit to, and to just say it like that, if you want to say any of, I give Kendra D. If you ain't her, too bad. And I not even again, and it's not even like I visit her shit, but I figure she's been around long enough, and she was there before it was a profit or any other things in it, and she was taking arrows back when there was no money involved. So that's why I said when a motherfucker sit up there and do the job for free and take arrows and hits and all the other bullshit when no money involved, that's a person who's dedicated to a cause. I mean, I remember our things before with Jessica X, and I hate to say something, she a cool person and all like that, but my bullshit meter went off, and I just call it like I see it.
Me too.
I mean, my kids even say now, just give an example. Even my woman knows when
I don't know her.
asking questions.
I don't know her.
I start asking
Dennis,
questions.
let him finish. Let him finish.
Get up. No, but I mean, when I'm not you, I'm saying when I start asking questions, everybody knows to shut the fuck up. Don't answer his questions. Because when I ask questions, I figure out if you're lying. And no offense, and on my radar, a couple of these chicks, they're just full of shit. And it's just what it is. I mean, I call it like I see it. I done built with, remember, like I said, I've been on the illegal side and the legal side. You know what I mean? I know other motherfuckers. Just because you ain't caught a motherfucker yet don't mean that they ain't doing dirt.
yeah, but Dre, I'm gonna ask you. Hold on, Dre. I'm gonna ask you this question. And I'm gonna see if you gonna in this space out of the top like 5 guys.
The only woman, I hate to say something, the only woman in this space who got any credit if your name ain't Kendra G.
No,
You got
I'm talking. Other than Kendra D is one of them, but who is actually attempted to raise more win up in this space?
I hate to say something. The other motherfuckers are not doing it because they want to do it. They're doing it because it's a financial gain. If you really want to know.
But no, but my point is, and see, this is why I want to go this road, because if we really go this road,
I'm
it's
going
then
to.
people gonna start getting. People gonna start getting. No, I know it ain't really with you. I'm
But,
asking you because I know you know.
well,
Like
you asking me
a
because
lot of
you know.
hold on, a lot of the same people that will sit there and say, well, now it's time to shut shit down, would be some of the same people that when they were doing it, nobody can't tell them shit.
Well, okay. Well, like I
And
said,
motherfuckers was so hold on, and motherfuckers was supposed to shut the fuck up and let them do it. Cause you know what? I don't give a fuck when it comes to people doing shit. What they do is what they do. That shit either works or it doesn't. And then people, and see, that's what I was talking about with the politicking. At the end of the day, if more YouTubers worried about what the fuck they were doing on their own channels rather than trying to tell motherfuckers what the fuck they need to be doing, they might be bigger than what they are. And because we got dudes, and then they want to sit there and politic or think about it.
sum
Like
the shit
we were
up.
having a really
I
cool
tried, Edward,
conversation
I don't want to fall
until people wanted to come over here and then all of a sudden think somebody's gonna try to check me. Because understand something, I'm gonna do what the fuck I do. This ain't at you, Dre. I'm gonna do what the fuck I do. I don't give a fuck about what none of you niggas say ultimately. Cause
uh,
on my shit, that's
but,
point blank.
Edward,
Period.
Edward,
So people talking to
Edward,
me about what the fuck I'm doing,
Edward.
I
This
just
is the
reference
problem.
a
Wait,
video.
oh, man. Wait, sit back a minute.
All right.
All right, put something in your mouth, take something to drink or something, and calm your little ass down. Because see, that's one of your problems. You go on your ranting too much, and I hate to say people lose interest in that because you want to go on a 5-minute
I don't
diatribe.
give a damn about the interest,
Like,
but go ahead.
But
like,
You
screwed
don't
up,
make
bro.
you don't
See,
make a point, and you don't make sense.
right,
Hey,
and that's
hey,
it.
hey, also in the chat, please try to be mindful and respectful of the panel, please. I
Right,
understand we do have opinions and such, but these guys take their time out their day to come up here, and the disrespect is not necessary. I like you guys, but try to and I'm gonna try to keep them off of you as well. So
right.
but if you say something about one of these panelists up there, I will let
And
them.
I'm not on trial here.
Yeah,
Well,
I get it. I get it.
but
So.
Edward,
but I bet
I'm
none of you
trying.
niggas get
Listen,
pussy like I'm getting pussy.
like, look, dude.
Hey,
You ain't got no
Trying to
bitches.
make it fair. I'm just trying to make it fair. You know, like I said, I call things across the board. I don't play no favoritism.
No,
Just like I made the
I agree
comment
with
right there.
I agree
And
with
you
a lot
know,
of what you're saying, but I don't know
go,
her. I don't have anything personally against her. She rubbed me the wrong way too, Judge. The
well,
way
it's
Oh,
not
oh, oh.
no, it's not
rubbed
that
me the
she didn't rub me the wrong way. It's
it
just
was
that
So it's really
I
about who
know.
you like and who you
Remember,
don't like.
I
my
knew
meter,
her
my
before
meter
she
went
was
off.
a YouTuber.
My meter went off. The way she talked to Roger, the way she was nonchalant and disrespected Roger, a woman, especially in this space, she got to know when to yield. And the way she laughed, it was like Dave Chappelle spoke about that laugh when he quit. He said it's a certain type of laugh, and he never walked back in that studio again. I'm telling you, I don't know her. It's just my radar went off too. My radar.
Well, well, see, this is the problem is you talking about, and like, remember, I wasn't even around then. I'm talking about the person I knew before. I'm a very good judge of character. I've been around a lot too many shady individuals and all like that. And I remember, I know her before she was Jessica X YouTube hoster. Remember, she used to always actually be in this space and would spend 7, 8 hours talking to us. So sometimes when you
Who?
sit there and I sit there and listen, I listen to what people say. It's sometimes what they say, what they don't say. If it took too long to answer that question, or if that was the truth, you would have had an answer in a second and a half. Because it was a lie, it was 3 seconds. See, and that's right. One reason why my family know when I start questioning them, they stop answering questions. And that's how you can tell when you start answering them questions and people start dodging them or being vague. That's giving them time to think because this shit ain't truthful. And when I know a person is like that, I just put you in the category. Oh yeah, you cool. You just ain't been caught yet.
You know what else, Judge?
So
We can't even.
yeah. So I don't even know if we're even talking about the same person right now.
Yeah,
Like
we are.
I hear, like I really don't know. Like I'm talking about like time, like a long time. So maybe it's some stuff before I do. I'm not telling you, Judge, but I'm saying because there's a lot of people that don't like her for whatever reason. I've always asked people to produce these clips or all this stuff that people keep saying Because it ain't just you, it's other people saying it too. And it's like they can't never produce the shit.
Okay,
But
well,
when it's some shit,
because they wasn't on popular channels back then. The shit was, see, remember, this is what I try to say. Like, I can tell you guys more. Say if the shit went down, I can tell you guys more about Tommy than all of you niggas on the panel combined. Because I used to be in that group, used to run shows with them, used to run shit on this platform, so I know how certain motherfuckers operate. You know, like I said, like Donnie and them Kevin could probably tell you more about Jesse X than you think from all them times on the panel with us.
I'm open to it.
So, Judge,
back before the show was popular.
So, Judge, now what is this space with all your history and all your knowledge? Because the space is changing, and that's why we're going through growing pains right now. How do you see this space? It's real shit.
Well, I'm not even gonna lie. You want my opinion? I'm gonna give you my opinion. For me, being around, I've probably been around here damn near going on 10 years now, right? Being around, I see certain individuals come and go. You know, I was never, if you see, even when I did, I was never big on running a channel. It just take too much energy. I'm already doing 20,000 other things. I'd never be able to devote the time into it. You know, with the fun and entertainment, yeah, we help some people out. That's just what it is. But what I've seen is this. I see a lot of people are here for, especially right now, they're here for monetary gains. They're not here.
Hey, okay.
They're not here. They're not here to help anybody anymore.
Well, let me.
Now, most. Now, listen. The people. This is how I know. I'm gonna give you Kevin. Wait a minute, Kevin, so I can give you your props here. This is how you know the people that's here to actually do something. They was here before before the money was here. Before it became lucrative, when it was more of a job. You understand what I'm saying? Before, when you running an 8-hour stream and the only thing you got was an attaboy Kevin.
I run these streams because I want to run these streams. I'll tell you just like that.
Right.
I put the Cash App up, and there's a super chat button down there, but I don't obligate people to pay for it. That's why I haven't done memberships yet, because I feel like I'm asking too much. If you're willing to sit in a broadcast with me for 3, 4, 5 hours, that's flattery enough.
Yeah.
It's flattery enough. But I will say this, and we got to press on with this conversation. If Jessica X didn't exist, I still feel I have the same amount of people watching.
Definitely. You would.
I would say that. So however you feel about her, is be mad at the people watching her. I mean, for real. Be mad at them. Be mad at them. Don't be mad with the next man. I mean,
because don't say that either, because these dummies take that. Be mad at the people that don't watch right.
Right. I don't want to.
I mean, watch it. I like that sense. Even like you said, I don't agree with that. I sense something shady there. But for me to tell somebody not to watch her shit, that's a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
And I can respect that. My thing though too, and this is taking it just out of her, and it's amazing how it's like she's like the one person. If it's really all of these women, why is it always comes back to her?
Oh,
if it's just one, but that defeats the argument. I'm just saying.
Answer the question.
I wasn't finished asking it. I wasn't finished though. Like I got like a one. Well, answer that now. Okay.
We're gonna break it down because you're going diatribes. The reason why everything always comes back to her, because no offense, I noticed as soon as she came on the scene, she got way too much clout. If she got way too much respect and all like that, it's like she just popped up and knew. And then I noticed how people said, well, she just popped up. Now all of a sudden, these dummies out here handing out big, where all the people she was with, where technically the people who were the same people over here watching us, now they watching her. But yet, I find it funny. Y'all can donate to somebody y'all ain't never seen, they face before, and all this shit. But y'all niggas was the same one over in the chat room and couldn't put a dime who the motherfuckers who was laying the foundation for free.
We can't even talk about it.
Okay, but that's on the audience.
Look, no, but wait. That would rub some people the wrong way. Like, say, I'm always over here with Kevin, and then you see me, somebody start 2 months from now, and you see me drop $500 in the chat. We're like, wait a minute, dude. This nigga was always with us for all these hours, and he give $500 to the new person just
Hey, let me.
because. Wait, wait,
Hey, let
wait.
me.
Just because we think that the voice is cute and sexy.
Ooh,
Hey, what? Let's say, yeah. Women are going to get a lot of support. You
Yeah,
know, especially if
definitely.
they're cute and they got these cute pictures and they got these cute accents. But I'm not going to pretend like I haven't received some big donations myself.
I
So
know.
I mean, like
yeah. Well, no,
they're not on a very they're not as consistent as a lot of other YouTubers, and I'm not saying that to be a pocket watcher. But like I said, I mean, if they choose to do that with their money, then that's them.
Yeah.
That's them. I
yeah.
can't make them
Well,
give
well,
me the money. I mean,
yeah. And the bigger point here is that that's a commentary on black men. And by the way, and I again see, I don't want to start throwing out names of people to be clearing 1,000, but I've seen dudes with south of 5,000, like 6,000 subscribers, south of it clear like 1,000 within 2 hours. So
Yeah.
I've seen dudes like so. I now is that as common? Not necessarily. And all these women. And my point of saying that is that it's only really one woman. So when people like make it like it's all of these different women, I'm like, who are you talking about? And it always comes at her. I mean, it's
It's
not this
like
whole multiple like horde that people want to be alarmist
okay.
about.
Okay,
hey,
I'm gonna tell here.
let me.
Wait. I'm gonna answer that question, Kevin. I'm gonna tell you too. Another thing that we've done, as we say, and I'll go ahead and take the flack. I'll call it out. Something people from her conversations before, I've seen some stuff be suspect. So I believe at first, if you really wanted to say, okay, Dre, sum it up, what type of person she is. Okay, she sat back in the beginning. She area she was in. She was in an area where she could talk to 5 or 6 men at a time. Not a very popular, not hitting at that time, but yet you got all your hours and shit in hanging around to me and realizing what you're doing, and now you just say, okay, fine, let me go ahead and just flip the script here. And I use all that as research
Water.
before I go ahead and pull the bullshit on you guys. And if you wanted to, I mean, I'm not saying she is, but I was something just sounded a little suspect there. I mean, maybe because that's the old thieving in me coming out, and I remember that's exactly how. Remember, I told you I was running a big larceny thing.
You
Even
know,
people, there was a guy who was brought there to catch me. I told him I was stealing, and he still could not get me. I mean, like, that's how you know when you're
uh,
good. When a motherfucker know, yeah, nigga, I'm the one taking the money, but you can't prove it.
I hear
It
all of
takes a different
that.
type of criminal, you know, to be like that. That's the reason why I don't steal no
I,
more,
I
because
but
I was one of that type of people.
You
But when you
described
can
her right.
say I was that
I hear.
good,
She a smooth criminal. What
thank
benefit does
you.
she offer? What
She
benefit
can't
does she
steal what we're
offer,
not
Ed?
letting her have.
What benefit does she offer to the manosphere, Ed?
I think she
You
offers
know,
I think she offers a benefit. I do think she does, because the reality of it is she has a softer voice on our same talking points. She's been around a while, probably longer than me, way longer than me. So therefore, she has heard the men. She's heard their disgruntled complaints. She's heard their triumphs. She's heard all of this stuff, and we let her in. We can't sit here and say that she was on these panels back in the day and she got all this information. We let her in.
you
She
know what?
just,
Hold on.
What
what's the
we
point?
know?
Let's take
What
that.
we
Let's
know?
take Jessica. Let's take hold on. Let's take Jessica off the damn table because that's too much of an easy soft target.
No, it's
Like
not.
so,
At least,
being hold on, being one thing about the habitual line steppers as a group, and Kev, you can shut me down if I'm bullshitting because obviously you're one of them. You know, technically, Sister George is an habitual line stepper. Number one. Number
It's
two, if
not
you look at how
technically
it's
Donnie,
not
is.
oh,
technical.
she okay,
She
so thank you for
is.
correcting me on that. Okay, and then when you look at Donnie, how Donnie runs his stuff, the women that's come on here and the conversation is spurring with that. You look at Roger, who's come up here. This is why I come over here because you all have a different flavor and a different angle. It's y'all usually better about qualifying women to come on here. Usually they not busted. So at least they can talk from a potential of being able to get a man, and how they opinion. You see what? So my point is, there's a different flavor. My thing is, I remember when BGS was flogged by black men because of just having BGS for women. Because dudes had the nerve to think they had the right to tell another man what he's going to do with his channel. You all can have a commentary on the space, but ultimately, people are going to do what they want to do. And if you don't like it, You don't have to be there. I tell dudes my channel, if I ever decide to flip my channel and make it 70-30 and increase the amount of women, because another thing too is, one of the things that I get annoyed about without going on a diatribe is it angers me that we get attacked that we hate black women when we know we're very open to having conversations with black women because we know we'll check the bullshit. But a lot of black men use that as a weapon to dismantle our points. And what a lot of y'all, what I get mad about a lot of y'all is a lot of y'all are short sighted because you all have this thing about y'all think the manosphere is fragile. This motherfucker has been here before YouTube, since Blog Talk. Women have put us on lists to try to dismantle our shit. I'm not worried about no bitches. Like y'all are. I'm more worried about black men because it is the Luciferian complex, shout out to Max City Limit, and the Highlander syndrome that is much more of a kryptonite and potentially dangerous to the manosphere than bitches. And quite frankly, and so when y'all focus on that, it's like y'all take the focus off what it really needs to be. And I'm not like the women, we can always flush the toilet with women anytime. I remember with Ashley W. She said one wrong thing, she was gone. So I'm never worried about the females because they can always be completely shut down. If Jessica X slips up really bad once, that'll be it. That's why I don't worry about that as much. So I don't know why y'all think y'all gonna come to us talk about y'all voting for men only, men only. Every channel is not gonna be men only, and y'all need to be okay with that.
bro.
All
Bro,
right.
all right. This is the problem, bro. We're not saying that. Nobody's saying men only. All I'm saying is this. I'm just gonna go by this. From what I've seen, from what I've seen, what I've
You not
experienced,
saying that.
my track. Okay, think about it, nigga. I've been around longer than you. My track record dealing with the people and all like that. I'm very good at calling a spade, and I just don't feel no sincerity in the shit. I mean, I'm sorry to say that. It sounds all good, but no sincerity in the voice.
Okay, cool. Let's take Jessica X off of this and still have this
But what? No,
conversation
no, no.
because
But
the con.
say something. You can take any of the new females that done popped up in the thing.
Who?
No sincerity. What's that other chick that used to always show her have her chest all out in the shows? I don't watch her shit, but I mean, like I said, I don't no sincerity.
Irene Yvette,
I don't remember
Danica Marie.
yeah, that's her name. But I said
Yeah,
I watched two or
yeah.
three. I
She's
watched
not
two or
in this
three,
space.
and then I said bullshit. I mean,
Yeah.
this the problem. I have a very good human lie detector. Like I should work for the CIA. I mean, like literally, not everybody that I've called out, even in all these years, go back and find one time where I said, "Oh, that motherfucker phony," and I've been wrong. Not once.
The only
When I
three
call up,
women
I'm
really
just
in
saying,
this
let you
space.
know.
Mhm.
I'm not saying she a phony. I'm saying there ain't no sincerity in she in her voice for what she's doing. I mean, it's profitable
The
right now. Hey, it's profitable right now for her. Go right ahead, do your thing. Ain't no sincerity in it though. It's just all pride. If I
okay.
ever do it, it's all for the profit. Just like you
But
see Tom. Wait. Just like you see Tommy trying to come over here and talk to these motherfuckers, like and try to be cool with the manosphere. No, because the shit you was doing is falling off, nigga. Remember, I was back in your camp when you said all of the motherfuckers over here when I tried to unite the spaces back then. I was on his camp, and I used to try to stop people from fighting and say. And so he realizes that if he'd have been cool back there, like I was trying to get him to do, I said, "Do you realize all these motherfuckers would have came up under you? So you would be getting a piece of all of that money and be involved. Now all these manosphere people is bullshit. Now you want to come back over here because you realize that talking shit and that comedian shit can only go so far."
so from what I understand, there's only really three women in this space like that.
Woohoo.
Jessica X, The Breakdown, and Kendra D. The rest of them, they just got YouTube channels. They may intersect every once in a
No.
long
There's
while.
only one. Basically, unless you've been back
I
there,
get
I
one
don't.
you
Maybe I don't
claim.
know the
I'm
women.
talking about. I get one you Kendra's the only one that counts. I understand that. I agree with that. Like I
But
get
you
what you're
don't.
saying with
But
that. What
plain
I
simple. This
am,
is the thing. This is how you know when a person cares about something. When they like say you sit up here and you got to grow a plant for 30 years for it bloom.
that's not my point,
That takes
Dre.
dedication. No, but I'm just saying is this. That takes dedication, effort, energy, time,
I,
which most
I,
people don't put that into something because especially nowadays, everybody want to get rich quick and ain't doing shit for damn near free. So that's how you know that a person is
I
sincere
hear
in the
that.
shit that they saying.
That's
Right.
not my point. My point
But
is
that is
there's
the main.
only
That's the most important point. No offense,
dude, I'm
Edward.
going to like yes, I get it, but that's not my point. My point is the argument that is made, and we talked about this before y'all came up, is that there is this horde of people, women in this particular case, taking over the space. There's only like three, like four if you count Sister George and Jessica, Sister George and Concrete as two people. There's four. One is cool universally, so
Who?
it's really only three,
Well, right.
which
Well,
is
then
Kendra.
no, it's only one.
So
Then
that's not true.
it's
So
only
that's not
one.
true. So people are being alarmist. That's all I'm saying. Like that's not true. It's like all these women are taking over the space. No, well then people add Danica. Danica's not in this space. Yeah, we can make an argument of City and tried to make her in this space. That got slammed the door because Danica got her subscribers from Facebook. Really, like anybody, like to the attempt has been made and it failed. So it's not. So this idea that you got dudes that are just letting women in this space, that's not accurate.
Well,
Like, and I'm not talking about. I'm talking about what people say. And some of you ain't even on the panel right now.
well, no, I'm saying they can go ahead. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do about on their own channel. But to sit up here, what I say is hey, I'm not saying that she'll always be. Even say if we wanted to say, oh, she ain't in the space. Technically, she'll always be linked to the space because where she started off. It
Who?
doesn't matter. Even if she says like this is what Kevin says. Kevin, he don't come out and say he manosphere, but he'll always be linked to manosphere.
Danica
Just
Marie
like
was
like
never
I
in
mean,
this
if you want to
space.
go back with me, people could say, well, shoot, Dre wasn't doing none of that shit till he was cool with Tommy.
Danica
So
Marie was
motherfucker can
never in this
say
space.
technically, even after all this time, and you don't see, I technically still be linked to him because of that. And
Danica
that's
Marie was never in this space. Like that's true. Like you can say that for Ashley W. Yeah, there are people you could say that to. I'll give you that. Danica Marie was never in this space. Like it's like okay, they black, they got a channel. That means they're the manosphere. Like the woman sphere is actually a lot larger than what we do. So I mean, they were doing their own shit. So and so yeah, Jessica, yes, I'll give you that. As far as Jessica, whether people want to claim her or not, I'll give you Jessica. But and I'll give you a couple others. But Danica Marie was never in this space. That's why she had to be
well,
introduced to this space.
technically, if you want to go by that, technically, ain't nobody in the damn space unless you one of the top ones that come out and claim it. Now, it's just really that has nothing to do with that. I mean,
Well, that's still only four
what I'm
people.
trying to say is this: what a motherfucker does on their own channel, that's them. But to sit up here and say, it's like basically what I'll try to say is this: how much I'll trust a person. I'm not giving certain people like that. I don't trust to run the kingdom while I'm gone. You understand?
Okay.
I wouldn't trust certain individuals. Not you can't. You don't need to be the spokesperson for the
Thank
shit
you.
over here. I
Thank
understand that you agree with a lot of our talking points and you
you.
use a lot of our talking points, but no offense, no, you are nowhere near. You just a audience member. You ain't up
So
on
so
stage.
That's it.
You
so
know.
so last
Judges,
so last so last so
Women cannot minister to men. I do not believe women can.
okay, so last question, Dre. What's more of a biggest threat to this space? Women or women infiltrating it or dudes hating on each other?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. No, I hate to say something. It's actually more. It will still be the women because unfortunately, just like how you getting. I think about it, we just having a
Wow.
time to. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna give you a proof right now. So just how we sitting up here, and you see, I'm talking normal, and you should already know that Drake can get excited as hell. But if you had to say who was excited on this platform from the years of knowing me and the years of knowing you, it sounded like you the one a little bit excited. And I hate to say this, bro, but the problem is when women actually get involved with certain things, when it's two round of men, you may not see it, but we all have that Achilles heel. It's in us to protect them. I mean, that's just normal. And I mean, that's why you're a little animated right now
No,
because of
dude, I
that.
can think
You're a little
outside. I
bit
can
animated.
completely
Come on
think
now, Edward. I
outside
talked
about
to you
that.
enough times to
Dude,
know.
yes, I'm always animated. Anybody will tell you that. That's why I fucking annoy people. And you know that more than a lot of people. So a woman
Mhm.
being on here a bitch being on here don't mean shit. A bitch being
Yeah,
involved in the conversation don't mean shit.
but
You
bro,
know? So I mean, but yes, and I agree with the I mean, David Carroll said that women, men, and liquor is a combustible situation. My point is, like, I mean, that's cool, but that's why the man. That's one of the reasons why the man is because dudes don't really see a problem with niggas hating on each other. They see that as entertainment. They only really want to get animated. You got motherfuckers doxing other
Okay,
motherfuckers.
but listen,
They ain't got nothing to do with no
Okay,
bitch.
okay, here you go, Edward. This is the problem, though. This is the problem. You may not see it because see, some things are behind the scenes, and they're inverted problems. Okay, Pline, me and you can sit up here and say I call you, ah, bitch, you just ain't shit. This, that, and the other. This, that, because we just shooting shit. But now this is what happens. We go out and we in the store in front of maybe some attractive women. And I'm like, ah, bitch, go somewhere. Nigga, why the fuck you know what I mean? Where normally if it was just us men, it wouldn't be no problem.
Well,
Men
that ain't
do
me.
act now. Maybe it's just not you. Remember, like I said, we ain't gonna go off in the broad politics. We're gonna say exceptions to the rule don't make the rule invalid. But people take a little things a little bit harder when females are around. That's one of the reasons why, if you ever notice, when a lot of times when they want to get stuff done, they make sure, like even good teams back in the day, they would tell them, "Oh, we got Super Bowl this week. You need to be focusing with your boys. Don't spend no time around no women." They would tell them, "Don't have sex for that week, because that way you put everything into that game for that Super Bowl." If you don't believe me, ask some of the coaches back then. They would say that was because it's something about when they're around, the mentality changes. It's just how we men are wired. It is true. And sometimes you will start arguments with people who you was normally cool with just because you don't want to look inferior in front of a woman. And you don't even realize
Yes,
things hit
I've
harder
seen
when
that.
women
It's
are
very
around.
annoying.
I
I
think
had to actually
I
deal with
think
that.
sometimes it's better for men to resolve issues when women aren't around.
Right, right.
Like
When women
I
are
mean,
around.
you
Go ahead.
mentioned earlier that some of the problems we have. You're right, Edward. Men are often as big a culprit and issue uh, in this environment as women are.
Mhm.
But it's easier for men to deal with men because
Right,
at a certain level, at a certain point, shit can get real between men.
right,
And there is no greater outer, particularly between black men, there's no greater outer societal concern about what might happen between men. So at some point, things come to a head between men.
right,
Shit either gets resolved between men or we peaceably decide to coexist elsewhere.
right.
But when you allow women in, things get murky. Men
Mhm.
start to posturing. Some men start to placating. And, the biggest problem with black men in particular is we, we have not developed a code or a way of dealing with each other absent the influence of females. That's
Definitely.
the biggest problem with us. And that's why a lot of the issues, the doxing, all that type
Man,
of stuff is more difficult to deal with because you got women muddying the environment.
Hey,
Kevin,
real quick,
Donnie, I'm gonna need y'all to jump in this
real
motherfucker because
quick,
y'all always
real
having
quick.
women on.
Real,
Shit.
okay, real
So
quick,
these
real
people
quick,
collapsing on me like I
Ain't
don't know what the
real,
nobody,
fuck I'm talking
nobody
about.
real,
collapsing on you, bro, man.
real,
I
real,
mean, we
real.
talking in a nice, calm voice, dude. We cool, man. I think you the one that's a little animated.
Okay. Listen up, listen up. We
I don't
got.
like being told the same thing like 30 different times. Like I'm not like I'm fucking dumb. That's really what it is. Like y'all literally
Bro.
repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Well, we're
Okay,
just trying to come to an understanding, Edward. And sometimes think about it, repeating. Think about it. This repeating something 5 or 6 different ways is not to say that you're stupid, Edward. It had nothing to do with
Well,
that.
I mean,
Sometimes it's just to drive home a
redundancy
message.
is
So
prevalent.
now we're about to do it right now again.
Redundancy is
After
prevalent
I said something.
in the manosphere,
Right.
and that's
So
a
after
good
I
thing.
said something, we're gonna do the same thing again. Okay.
Oh, bro, man,
Like
come
I
on,
said,
man. It's
Kev.
too personal.
hey, we
PGS,
do.
Chill for a
PGS,
second, Edward. Just
please,
chill.
You're taking it too personal.
please, PGS.
I mean, women are always going to be problematic. Okay, the thing is that unfortunately, and especially in this space, guys actually go out looking for women.
Thank you.
So, so when they come up, you guys want to hear what they have to say. That's how the breakdown is there. That's like I promoted them because I didn't have BGS for women. I actually put it in the mothballs, but everybody kept asking me about they really want to talk to women. I said, okay, well, why don't you go over there? And they're middle of the road. They're not completely gynocentric. They got a little bit of it, just enough to keep you interested, right? Because you don't want a completely red pill woman. Now, if that was the case, you'd be over at Kendra's. Everybody would be flooding into Kendra's
Yep.
space.
They don't.
But no, they want a woman that's a little bit blue pill. So, but they're close enough to it where they actually will actually listen to guys and take what guys actually say seriously. So that's how come I recommended them.
Yeah. Well, where I get annoyed is
Mhm.
where, and I say this almost every couple of streams. You
Mhm.
don't like what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not talking about y'all. But I'm saying you can fucking leave, or if you keep talking shit, I'm gonna help you go. And then motherfuckers will say, if I help them go, they will create. This is where the fuck you at, where you a bitch, you a hoe
Yeah.
shit comes
Yeah.
from. Like
Yeah.
this is like, and I want people to understand that once you cross that Rubicon to where you need to control what somebody else is doing because you're afraid of a female, at that point you become a bitch.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. And then
people
the
get.
other thing, hold on, and the other thing too,
Mhm.
and I want, like, when people want to evoke certain people, the
Mhm.
reality is there's a lot of motivations. And what I find interesting is how people will say, okay, because I talk about women more than anybody. Like, and I have only like a 4% female audience on my, so I got one of the least amount of women as far as channels of anybody.
Mhm.
So I always find this interesting. But my thing is, I have motherfuckers actually think they're gonna tell me something about Sharon Kendra. Smurgo. Anyway, but my point is, you have people like dudes cross this line where they think they're gonna tell other people what to do. And that's where like folks need to kind of check themselves on that shit. Because I think they think because they're
Everyone's a bitch,
right.
dude. Everyone's a bitch. We all do that. Literally everyone does that.
Yep.
That's what men do. We try to impose our will upon other people and the world itself. That's what we do.
All right.
It's a part of life. That's just a fact of life dealing with
Mm-hmm.
men. Like that's
No,
just
that's
what it
not.
is.
That's not. No, 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 no.
You
That's
don't
not.
have
That's
to
not.
That's
adhere
not
to it.
necessarily true.
You
That's
don't
not
have
Yeah,
to.
necessarily
that's
true.
You don't have
that's
to. You don't have to.
bullshit.
It isn't bullshit. It
Yeah,
just
yeah,
is what it is. Look, men.
that's not
Look,
true.
men. Yes, it is.
And
Men.
the,
Yes, it
the
is.
funny thing is that the same people that say they don't want women in the space, when there's a
They're
woman
over.
in the space, they flood over there.
Right.
So
I just think.
they're full of shit.
Exactly.
I just
Yeah.
think. I just think. I just think.
Exactly.
I just think. A
Well,
lot of people.
one
some
at a
of
time.
them,
One at a time.
some
A
of
lot of
them,
I
Let
got
people.
because
PK finish.
screenshots to
Let
prove
PK finish.
that.
A
Let
lot of
PK
people.
finish.
A lot of people. A lot of people think, man, like dudes are just gonna allow you to do what you want to do, man. Nah, man. That's not how this shit works. If you've done this for a while, like I streamed for 3.5 years, right? Okay. That's how long I did it for. And I amassed over that time period at that time around 10,000 people. And I would get a consistent probably 2,000 viewers every night. Okay. And during that time period, everyone had a opinion about what the fuck it was I was going to do. All
Right.
right. And it works that way across every sector, across all
You're not
mediums. It
hearing what
does
I'm
not
talking about.
change.
But go ahead.
It
You're not hearing what I'm
Well,
saying.
well,
But
I
that's
get, I
cool.
get it, I get it, I get it.
well,
What you're
let
what
him
you're
say
getting
what he
at,
wants to say, Edward.
what you're getting at is that there are people who are saying that you're bringing women into the space and they have their opinions about how you should run your show and how you should do things. Right? They're trying to tell you how you should move. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, that's not
Okay.
what I'm saying. Because I'm not
Okay.
one of the main ones that's really getting accused of this. Because I'm not the one doing it. What you have is you, and I've talked about it. I get what you're talking about. You're talking about kind of there's an audience thing and there's a creator thing. But long story short, they talk about the politics of shit. Now that there's money involved, people, because a lot of these dudes are hating on other dudes too, and pocket watching other dudes, and people have accused a lot of different people of doing this. So
Mm-hmm.
the women is just like this thing. Honestly, that shit's bullshit. That's something like Dre. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not talking about you because you're not a content creator, so you don't really you can be non-biased, because you don't really have a
I
dog
used
in
to.
it
I
other than
used.
like what you're
I
thinking.
used to. I
But
used to. Like it just
but
too. I had
okay,
to like that. It used to. It just too
but
much work at work.
but
But
no,
what I
no,
say.
you get what I'm saying though. Like it's like somebody that they ain't getting super chats anyway, so they can speak on it. And you can't really question what they're saying. What you got, so I get you. But what I'm saying is, you got a lot of people. They will invoke that female shit, and a lot of dudes will listen to that shit, and they'll invoke it as a mechanism to try to attack other people, so
Yep.
they can bring people over there. And see,
Okay.
a lot of y'all are really blind to that shit. Now, Dre, you and me, you said that with Tommy, and you said that with other people. So I know you're a straight shooter. but and I'm not really not talking to you or about you when I say this stuff. In my head, I'm talking about like a lot of content creators that I know are doing this. Like Obsidian has got mad at me because I've been on Obsidian's ass about that shit to the point where Obsidian want to have a one-on-one drag out debate. He wants to take my motherfucking head off. So, because I've been calling him out so hard, like right to his face on Bernard about trying to merge the red pill space into a blue pill space. So I hear what y'all are saying, but
if we all agree that this is a gynocracy and that
Right.
we have been grossly, overly influenced by females,
Hey, real quick,
then what?
hey, Black River, real quick, I got to call these out. Thank you for the super sticker, Blackfoot, and also uh, Juan G showing love to the channel. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so go ahead and continue, and then let the after Black Guru let Roger get in.
Yeah, if we've all agreed, and BGS has been the seer and the prophet in this area, that we are in a gynocracy, and that virtually all major aspects of the lives of particularly ADOS men are grossly influenced by women, many cases dominated by females. Is it not reasonable for reasonable men to be circumspect, suspicious about the influence and the involvement of women in this environment in which we're largely trying to break free of the bounds of the gynocracy? Is it not reasonable for us to be circumspect?
Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Definitely.
It is. The thing is
yeah,
that
but when you start to get fanatical about it, it becomes a problem.
the thing is
No, it
the thing is you're not going to keep them out because guys don't want them kept out.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like they let them in.
And they don't have to.
And when we say they, make no mistake, it
Everybody
ain't the
does.
creators doing it. It's the
Every,
audience.
everybody, you trust and believe. Okay, if I because Edward can tell you because the Coliseum is pretty much a very vicious place, and no female needs to be in there, right? But I can tell you, and Kev can tell you, as soon as you put a female on your panel to talk to her, everybody wants a piece of her.
Yep.
Automatically, everybody want to get their angst and with their mommy issues out on that female immediately, and it's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. And Kev can tell you
that was way before Roger figured that out and saw that. That's what
the thing is you have to go through it. No, I'm saying is when I said it, I know there was critiques and I said some strong words, but there was a reason for it. Okay. And I think Roger and Kev and Donnie learned that. Okay. In this particular space, there's a certain way that you have to bring your women in, and a certain way you have to control them. Otherwise, it will run rampant and it's going to cause a whole lot of havoc.
And Roger will tell you, I'm the main. Like Roger will tell you, I'm the main one. If I see a bitch doing bitch shit, I'm the first one to jump on. And like even when motherfuckers want to stream shit while they talking, or they want to have that voice where they want to, like I can literally tell in their tonality that they on some bullshit, and I will usually call it out. So I'm one of them. But my thing is, dudes have to deal with women in the observable world. Like you all have this thing where you think you're gonna protect people, and where this like the YouTube, black YouTube is going, where people are more interested in this content. The dudes that are growing are going to incorporate that, and certain people are going to do that. And I think a lot of y'all think y'all losing control because things are evolving in a way that I think some of y'all don't like. And at the end of the day, if you want to stick, there are channels like Art of Igmore, Ramil, that they say it's only niggas. And I'm on those channels. I don't try to change them. Y'all need to support those channels because there are channels that are like that. But every channel's not necessarily going to be like that. And in this thing about invoking what the manosphere is supposed to be, because I mean, look, shout out to MOT, but MOT tried to do that with BG. Like people always try to do that. And it's like, dude, some of y'all need to understand there's going to be shit y'all don't like. This shit I don't like. And I learned to deal with it. All right.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at, is that, you're going to have other content creators that are going to push their sort of ideals onto you, and it's up to you to attempt to do what the fuck it is you want to do, regardless of what it is they have to say. Because at the time that I was streaming, I had a competitor who was larger than me who would directly undermine me. So I mean, it's just a part of the fucking. That's a part of the gig, man. It's gonna happen.
It,
You can't really do much about that unless you have
it,
a alliance or allegiance to that person, and a lot
I
of
hear you,
times it doesn't
TK,
work that way.
but when people talk about when it gets into the realm of like doxing and some of the dusty shit that's
Dude,
going
that's
on
what
in
they
this space,
do. That's what people do. That's the thing. That's the internet. That isn't just the space. That's the internet. Welcome.
But
If you've been here, that's been an
so
issue
basically
forever.
you saying every
but
so are you
that's
saying everything is justified? Is that what you
No,
saying?
no, I'm saying it
no,
is
no.
what.
Because you
No,
got
I'm saying
motherfuckers
it.
talking about
No,
people are
I'm
pedophiles and
saying it.
shit.
No, I'm not
Hey,
saying it's justified. However, is it happening? Yes or no?
That's
It's
not
happening.
what I'm talking about. Now, yeah, murder's happening too. That's I get what you're saying, but the way you kind of respond is like you're coming at me like, "Well, this shit is dismissive, so it don't even matter anyway." Because that's just
No,
I
what I'm
get what you're
saying
talking about
is
from
it
a
happens. You
composition
have to do your
standpoint,
best to protect yourself and do
and
what
and
you
I
want to do.
and in that mono shit, I wasn't even talking about other content creators. I'm talking about like like for instance, if I run my channel and then people think they're gonna come on a panel and damn me cuss me out, which has happened. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about I get the competition and the ebb and flows. That I agree with you. That's why I was saying we're not really on the same frequency because I understand what you're trying to say. Not what you're trying to say. That's just not what I'm talking about. I get what you're saying about the competition, and that's just the ebb and flow, the algorithm, movement, the politics. I mentioned that earlier. I get that. What I'm talking
Yeah,
about is this idea where audience members have this thing where they will get on panels, attack, troll, over some emotional bullshit, but then try to claim manhood. Now you don't have to you can not like people and give your opinion on that and say I said it and that's what it is. I
Okay.
understand that and I respect that, but it goes beyond that with a lot of folks.
But Edward, here, this is one of the things that I think that we have a problem as men. This is the problem. Is this? Here you go, Edward. Okay, now say you just each man has a different of what they feel that they won't do. Everybody's got different boundaries. Like say you are the type of person who says, "Okay, Dre, me and you say we add all the names." And you sit up here and say, "Oh, okay, yeah, fuck that nigga, this, that, and the other," and it comes down, we get to the point to where we say we slinging insults. You may make a video dogging me, okay, and then as retaliation, I might dox you. Let alone I might do this, that, and the other. I mean, and you can say, "Well, at least I just talked about him. All I did was just dox the nigga and told him who the person really is." Now you look at it as doxing was really bad, but to me, and my boundary, that's not one of them. Like, because I'm not even gonna lie, I'm one of those type of people. Everybody has different boundaries. Like one of my boundaries is this: if you threaten to cause physical harm to me, there is nothing I won't do to you. Nothing. Everything's off the table there. And when I say the extreme, yes, there is nothing I won't do. And see, that's one of the things that I think that we have a problem that a lot of people don't realize that just because you don't feel that way, this is all I did was talk about this nigga or do this and the other. And this nigga, and then this other dude got on, and now he's talking about my kids, my family, or my mama. You know what I mean? You got to realize the rules are different for everyone. And I think that one time we always think that everybody wants to play by our rules, but it don't work that way. So what I've always learned in life, if I don't want no smoke from that person at all, just because I got rules and I won't do this, that, and the other, does not mean you don't put that past that the other person might.
Well,
And I think
I
that
think
that's where we get
if
so
you
screwed
bring
up in this space.
somebody's family
Right,
into anything, and none of the family have presented themselves in this environment,
right.
then I think that we all should collectively choose violence against that person.
Yeah,
There's
we all should,
And
but
there's
I mean that
reasonable.
both figuratively and literally.
Well, there's reasonable amount of things there's baseline things that we have come to agree on in this space. And if people
Mhm.
want to kind of operate outside of that on some baby's kids, like what you saying, then the problem is there's not enough enforcement mechanism. But what I will say is this idea of who people bring onto their channel, that don't need to be as far as that don't need to be one of them. Like it really don't. Because all you have to do is subscribe and say that nigga likes to bring women, don't support it, and then the audience either gonna do that or not. You can't. Ultimately, what I'm saying is you can't control the audience. And I
Yeah.
find what people are trying to do is try to control what the creator does because
Yeah.
they know they can't control the audience. And that's what I'm gonna leave it at that.
But
All
your
right, all
point
right, all
right
right, all
there
right.
you made,
All right, Dre. Then let Roger get in after
okay.
you, Dre.
Okay, but see, this is here you go with your point. Like you said, you shouldn't be able to tell a person where do you draw that line at. You shouldn't be able to tell a person what to do on that. But just like you said, like I said, go back to that a point I gave. You talked about me on a video. I'm just saying this as hypothetical, and I decide to make a video dogging your kids. Now we know you don't have any children, but you understand what I'm trying to say. I mean, just because, where do you draw that line? Now, yeah, you can sit up here and say, yeah, Dre, that was foul for you making a video dogging his kids, and all this nigga did was call you a lame or this, that, and the other, and dox you or whatever. But you understand what I'm saying? It's like, where does that line become drawn? It's like you just have to realize that certain people
It's
don't
been
live by the
drawn.
rules. No, but
It's
listen,
just
certain
you
people.
got certain chaos
That's
agents.
right. But it's just like that. It's like some people say, hey, some people can say, look,
Satan the
I
Sinner
can
is a
get along
perfect
with a
example of
dude.
that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, Edward, this. I can get along with a dude that says like this. I can get along with a dude that sells heroin, but I can't get along with a dude who sells meth. You understand what I'm
You've been
saying?
in
It's
the
like,
space long enough
it's
to know that
all,
there's general rules to
you
this
know what I mean?
game.
It's different. Like I said, is you got to realize that nobody's going to be set in stone and agree with you
I
100% on all points. You have to
I
realize,
get
okay,
that.
this is the type of person that person is. And I know, like plain and simple, you would know, hey, man, I wouldn't fuck with Dre that way because Dre is liable to say anything and he does not care. If you want, like I said, you know that, hey, Dre's that type of person. Or I would know, oh, man, you don't get into Edwards like that because brother
There
man's
are
good for
certain
going,
general boundaries we
right,
all agree
right.
with.
Right, but Edward is known for going on a tangent, doing this, that, and the other. So I know I wouldn't fuck with you that way because I know Edward is known for doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody
That's
has their
fine, but there's
own
certain
right.
rules we
Yeah,
agree to. There are certain
let's
general
let
boundaries.
Roger get in here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, Roger.
Hey,
I
Right.
jeez.
mean, you just,
I was having some fun listening, but I think when it comes down to it, this is just something that's it's just gonna test people. Women coming into space is just simply gonna test people's manhood. Truth be told, I see the arguing, the bickering, the doxing, and all that type of stuff. These is niggas still trying to get pussy.
Yep.
Niggas don't want to come out and admit
That's
that.
all it is.
I don't know who did it, so whoever hit me and it hits you ain't got nothing to do with me because I don't even know who been doing all that stuff. And if I see somebody doing that type of stuff, I don't freak with their channel. If I see you doxing somebody or now I don't go to your channel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this all about pussy at the end of the day. And unfortunately, because most men have grown up with total gynocentric thinking for at least 18 years of their life, niggas gotta learn how to stand up and be a man. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. People try to get other people excited about somebody else, and then niggas want to make sure that they the HNIC. I actually got a plan to do a show about this coming up too, about this HNIC mentality. We steady trying to impress these bras, and it's
In our space.
unnecessary.
Right. In our space. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah, and
in our
that's
space.
what it comes down to. Niggas can't accept that somebody else got more money than them, not because he got money, because he might get a chick he wants. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it come down to. This nigga might have a car that might help him get a chick I want. And then they see these chicks in the space, and I'm not stupid. Women go for status. So niggas want to do stuff to disrupt another nigga from having a chance to hit this chick or that chick or whatever the case is. Niggas is moving like girls. That's what it come down to at the end of the day. They need to just stop.
They're basically like this. They want to prove rank and order because unfortunately, we already know the better you come off or the higher ranking you feel, you get more female attention.
They want attention. They want attention. At the end of the day, they want attention.
Right.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, that's really
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yep.
you can
Tell
tell
move like a girl.
One at a time. One at a time.
But
tell me
BGS,
why
you
the
can tell,
fuck.
like BGS, you don't want, like I said, you can tell certain times you're gonna get to a certain age where female attention is not that important.
No, yeah.
Y'all,
Just on here, I could tell you there's lots of female attention I've turned away.
Yeah.
Right. Time out, y'all. I'm driving through a neighborhood. Tell me why I see a fucking Negro walking. Oh my god, man.
What do you got on a bonnet?
He don't got shit on.
Okay.
no.
Basically, he's on that. He's
You know
on
that
that.
stuff.
He's on that stuff. What is it?
Mess.
On that
He,
speedball, man.
he ain't on nothing. He walk like I'm like, are you fucked up? Like, yo, I
He's on
spent oh my.
speedball. He's
But
got a
maybe
speedball going, man. He's on that
maybe
cocaine and heroin. He's on that speedball, man.
Nah, he,
or maybe
anyway.
or maybe just maybe he was trying not to get caught boinking somebody's girlfriend or wife, so he had
Oh, it
to.
could be.
Yeah,
Out of window.
See,
slip out the back door.
Kev, only you would think about some shit like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway,
so we know
like
what your
I think
past. We
Kev
know
has
your
been
past, man.
autobiographical there.
We know what your past is.
yeah. Anyway, you know, ultimately, like I said, I get annoyed. Like this, we kind of got on this train of thing because I said I get annoyed when people try to attack this space by I'm not even talking about like people that used to be in it. I'm talking about like these new motherfuckers that are like adjacent. They'll try to say you hate women, you hate this, you hate that, and they'll point to that women are generally not in because that's one thing Mike Rashid did. Mike Rashid and look, folks don't gotta like Jessica, but one of the things he said was, "Well, these niggas don't never have women around." I mean, and I'm like, really? And she said she was like, well, how can I be in this space if these dudes hate women? You're like, well, you know, well, what do you think I should think? You know, I mean, y'all need to see that fucking video. Cause that shit, that nigga snitched on himself, told me everything I need to know. But these are the type of niggas you got popping up now. That's why boys think he could have an extra battery in his back telling motherfuckers you hate some black women and you hate I love black children. That's why I'm gonna be a step. I'm like, oh my God, these niggas think they can have a reset. You got folks that they're trying to take shit 5 years ago, repackage it, and try to relitigate shit. And I'm talking, some people are in this space doing that too, but they're trying to relitigate shit. Like the shit, like we ain't already settled this bullshit. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get tired of it because there's too many
That was
dudes
wrong
doing
for you,
that shit.
Kev. You know that, right?
Say what?
It was wrong. You were wrong for that. You know that, right, man?
No. Well,
Raw
182
for
people
it.
think they're thinking differently right now. So
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they have demented thoughts like you do.
nah,
oh
nah,
yeah.
man. Kwame roasted boys. You got dudes that got like 200,000 subscribers that
Kev,
they about to all of the stuff that we went through with Boyce Watkins like for the past years. They about to relitigate. All they already said. They said I didn't even know this dude, and people are emailing me all this shit about him having an Asian marketer and
Yeah.
him a Paris. But like I'm like, oh wow, he about to have all his greatest hits played. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
this
now
wow.
wait a minute, Kevin, you made that picture?
I didn't draw the original picture, but I put Boyce's face on it. So
Yeah. Now here's a question I gotta ask you. Wait, before Edward go on another diatribe. Here's the question. I was surprised, like when it first came up, because you know I've actually been watching Boyce since back in the Tommy days. So I done seen, like I remember when he first got back with when he first started dating her before they got married. And I remember I
Okay.
was thinking in my head, I said, boy, he's lucky he's not in one of the manosphere states because we'd be talking about him getting sloppy seconds.
Ooh.
And we were talking like I remember when he first announced that he was going to try to marry this chick and all this other crap. And I remember I'm sitting here looking at it, it's like, boy, he was like Tom Cruise on the couch on Oprah. And it was just like the way he would talk about her in videos. And I'm like, dude, man, I mean, it
That
don't
nigga
really
in love.
sound good because he had mentioned about how so many times he tried to date her and she wouldn't give him time of day. And I was sitting here like, dude, you better shut up. They're gonna eat that alive. Oh man, like if they go back in them videos and find that shit,
But
oh
yeah,
man,
they are.
You know what?
And
You know what?
oh
What
Dre,
Judge
we've
described?
always given him
He
respect.
admitted it. He admitted it.
no, here
So
we
We
know
well,
him.
we've
It was him
always
saying
given him respect if
it's
he
him.
shut the fuck up. Go
Right,
ahead,
right.
man.
It was him. And I'm like, dude, you realize, I guess that, you know, you better have a real thick skin because this nigga put out so much shit that, like, a person, like, if you wanted to attack him, you got too many fronts. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, boys. It's real easy target. And unfortunately, now he just should have shut up with the crap. He should never got into no type of beef because, unfortunately, it's no way for him to win. I say, as a person, it's his standings in the way he's coming from in his businesses. Because I'd be like, well, wait a
Well,
minute, dude. You trying to tell
What?
black
What?
men to go to your school and do this, that, and
well,
the other, and then you're gonna set them up to be rich failures for these other people.
well,
There
What
are
BDS,
certain
Boyce
things you
Boyce
just
is
need to stay
doing?
away from.
What Boyce is doing is what a lot of brothers is doing.
You
He's
Bush
using
is
copy
doing
that.
what
everything
y'all
he
rule is
can.
doing.
He's using everything he can to be the
Yep.
man he needs to be so he can get the woman he want to get. And
Yeah.
that's what folks got to understand. Folks gonna come into the space, and I know it's gonna trend a little bit. And then, like I said, Kevin Samuels is now a lightning rod for the space because people gonna click on his videos. There's gonna be other people in the Black Manosphere that's gonna pop up and recommend. People gonna click on the title here or there. So people gonna come into the space who have no idea of red pill or no idea of what the Black Manosphere is about and all this type of stuff. But even some of the people here, at the end of the day, these folks is fighting for female attention. Yep. I see certain stuff, and I see, I know good and well they're not doing this because of whatever their purpose is. You know what I'm saying? Like when I do my channel, anybody who watch me can see I got a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And female attention ain't part of it. You know what I'm saying? Female attention is nice, but it ain't part of my purpose. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to define me.
No,
but another thing is,
let him finish. Let him finish.
What I'm saying. The issue you got with too many men because they still thinking and in this gynocentric way, they're still defined by women. That's what their problem is. They're still defined by women. If a woman is not in my chat, if a woman is not on my panel, for some dudes, that means I'm not a man. And for other guys, because you know what I'm saying, it's a straight opposite effect where I can't be a man if I have women around. They do it in different ways, but these women controlling these niggas, man. Yep. And I'm just saying, to me, it's kind of sad.
I think that's why they get mad at Jessica X and Boyce's at his new wife, is because you look at successful guys needing or somewhat using these women as validation. Right. Now you look at Boyce, considering he's a businessman, he should not be going back and forth. It makes his business decisions look very weak. So people's not even going to trust him professionally based on how he's responding to his decisions that he wanted to make. He's not being sound enough as a man. If he wanted to marry a baby mama with 3 kids, he should have stood on that shit and said, "Fuck you niggas, I ain't answering to nothing," and just lived his life and show and prove.
But here's the truth about that. Boyce has always been
hold on, Edward.
Edward, before you get started, I got to read this super chat. Good mother, thank you very much. But she says, "Sorry, gentlemen, that the university indoctrinated feminist ideology has caused all this madness. It started before we were all born, but it's going to end as soon as all of the men realize all of the men are suffering the same systemic oppression."
Well, unfortunately, what we're going through, it started way back in 1750 under slavery. Okay, this has nothing to do with the university. Okay, I wish it did. It'd be easier to fix.
Boyce has always been given a pass. Like honestly, as long as Boyce don't tell other niggas.
You broke up.
Yeah, he's never been. Trust, he didn't get flack before. Maybe you ain't watched him long enough.
What I'm saying is, the thing is, as long as he stays in his lane, he's okay.
Yeah,
but he wants to stray into everybody else's business.
Yep.
Yeah, and dudes have because dudes know how hard it is for you to put yourself out there, for you to talk about white supremacy, because he was doing that before it was like really popular to do so, before white people were doing it. So folks are like giving a pass, and then you know what Boyce look like, you know what Boyce come from. So it's like, okay, let him do what he want to do. Ain't nobody really clowning him for his own decisions. He ain't getting like the Russell Wilson treatment. But when he sits there and starts telling other black men what they need to do, and then he doubles, triples, quadruples, quintuples. Then he starts saying, "You hate black men and black children." Then he does this in the passive aggressive way. And BZS, you already know, like when you had a conversation with Grown Man Business on my channel about Kwame Brown. So you already know the dudes were looking for a guy that they could kind of get behind. It's like not to say they don't like Kevin, but they don't identify with Kevin.
No, they don't.
And then it's like you gonna come at Kwame, and then you saw how Kwame came at him about the single motherhood thing, and he kept it real. He said, "Look, some women don't like to deal with my baby mama drama, and that's their right, and I respect them for it. But you're not gonna tell these young boys and you hear from a dude they identify with. It's like Boyce is like with Ja Rule. You look at him for everything to not do. And whatever you need to know to not do, Boyce is like the avatar for that. Because I don't even know why he's doing the shit anyway.
He's trying to
I'm about to out because there's a lot of great people on the panel. Yeah, so
he's doing it probably. It's probably out of the same. I'm not gonna say it definitely, so boys don't come out to the channel with me. But I'm just gonna say, to me, based on my personal vision, the only assumption I can make, he got the same fear of gynocracy that most black men have at this point. That nigga saying it because that's what his woman want to hear him say.
Okay, right,
Period.
right.
And
This is
because his
I
wife
believe
wanted
that.
him to say it, he gonna go on that public platform and say what he needs to say to keep her appeased or happy or however you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, he's scared. There was no reason for him to say what he said. That's my thing. He's a whole different lane. You had no reason to even come out and make a public statement about something like that. If you know you can announce you got your marriage, you can be proud of your marriage. Boys, because I'm a single father, I don't have an issue marrying a single mother, and nobody would have said anything, and he could have left it at that. But the fear of that woman, and I'm not saying that his wife, I don't know who it is. He just could be afraid of women in general, which I see a lot of fear in most black men, and it's unjustifiable fear because he already made him. He is who he is at this point, so he don't even need to have the fear. Ain't nobody finna fire him. Ain't nobody finna come after his money or anything like that. He good. So he could have just said, I'm a single father and I married a single mother. It shouldn't be that much to figure out. And nobody would have said anything.
Okay, Roger. I'll tell you what it is. No, the reason why Brother Man acting like this, because I don't watch him for a couple of years. The reason why Brother Man is acting like this is this. He was head over heels for this chick. One that came out. Think about it. You know, you never really saw him break like this. Even when people were going after Paris, when he was with her or with
Judge, to keep it short, I get the whole background story of it, but my thing is he came out publicly to say this for a purpose.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the purpose. The purpose is this: he finally got this chick who he always wanted. He never could get her because even there was a video of him and her where he made a comment like, "You never gave me the time of day." I'm like, when he made that comment, I was like, "Whoa." I'm like, man, if they find that snippet, because I was thinking that back then, I'm like, dude, they would eat you up if you ever had some flack. But what happened?
There's nothing wrong with being proud of your new wife, though. You can be proud of your new wife. But this is what I'm saying, Judge. Let me know what I'm saying. Because you don't have to go through the whole explanation. You can still be proud of your new wife. I'm a single father, so I married a single mother, and there would be nothing to be said. There was no point in him going any further.
Okay, this is the problem. That's why I said if you keep cutting me off before we get to it, the problem is he finally got the girl he couldn't obtain. He's doing like this. Unfortunately, like I said, he was his sloppy second. She was like her parachute. Basically, that's really what it is. And I think that some of the people have already brought that shit up. So basically what he's doing is he knows his only card to play is to go hard in the paint and act like he is tough. That's why he's doing all of this shit that's out of character.
Let me ask you guys
to showboat for this woman.
Let me ask you this,
because he doesn't want to lose her.
All the guys on the panel. Have you ever been deliriously in love with a woman?
And that's what he is.
Yes, and I'm about to say in my standards fail.
Let me. I mean, have you ever had that feeling where you were in a almost a trance state?
Yep.
When you were in love with a woman. I mean, I think that's what that woman represents.
That is.
And I think because he's so much in a trance state with her, he don't really. He's in a magical kind of
He's in a high
right now.
He's in a high.
And in his mind, why wouldn't everybody else luxuriate in this great love that I'm experiencing?
Well, he said stuff like this before. He said stuff like this before. It's not the first time Boyce has kind of gone in on the manosphere and said some slick stuff. It's just this time people kind of got tired of it.
Right. I like that. Come on in, the water's fine. That's what.
And Brother Man is acting.
I think she would have been okay with it if she had been getting the responses to it that she would have wanted to get. Yeah. I think she would have been okay with it because I don't think Boyce would be doing this or would have done this if he was sure that she would be really disturbed by it, given how he feels about her. But I think if it had been all like 100%, we're all happy for this great love you all have, then I think she'd be okay with it. But I think the criticism that he has garnered has made her more circumspect about.
Yep. And then also, she ain't that attracted to him. I hate to say that.
I want to respectfully say, I was a young man once. There was a young lady I was in high school with, and for some reason, this real talk. It was one chick that was so bad that I couldn't conceptualize hollering at her. Just one. She was just too bad for me. I just couldn't get it past to holler at her. So I didn't holler at her until after we graduated. Then like a year later, or 2 years later, I ran across her at the mall or something. I hollered at her. She told me some stuff. Well, you know what? If you'd came maybe then, I probably would have been on something crazy anyway. And she told me what she was really doing at the time. I ain't gonna say all that, but she gave me her number, and I lost that number. That's the worst phone number I ever lost in my life to this day. Cause she was, I'm talking about that woman bad. And then I seen her within the last year too. She's still bad, but she does have a child right now. See, I lost the number. I never made the connection when I could have made it and all that. And that was the one that I wouldn't talk to, and I got that one.
That could have been your baby, huh?
Exactly. But you know what?
But Roger, the difference is, you know, Boyce worked on that one.
Let me just say this real quick, Black Guru. Let me say this real quick, Black Guru. What I'm saying is, even though as great of a person as because she's actually a pretty good person, all the good stuff I know about her, how smart she is and all this other stuff, she still got that kid. I still don't see it the same way. I just don't see it the same way.
Discount.
The distinction between you and Boyce is Boyce actually invested real emotion and desire over years to be with that woman. That man has run fantasies and dreams and all kinds of scenarios in his mind over decades to be with that woman. He is not in his right mind with that
woman. I've heard stranger things. Like this dude was on, I think it was Sister George's channel, right? He was actually talking shit to guys about being in love with a wife and all kind of shit. And he talked about it when he first met his wife. She was pregnant with somebody else's baby. She was married and pregnant. He tried to hit on her.
Wow.
And he waited 5 years until he can marry her.
Well, I mean, the boys did that with her.
You have for some men a particular woman.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily, she's not necessarily the most beautiful woman. She's not necessarily the finest woman. She's not.
That's what he wants.
For some reason, some combination of physical, mental, emotional, maybe it's her voice, maybe it's her eyes, gets inside of him.
Yeah.
And he ain't ever letting her go.
Yeah, that's called your imprint in a strong animal that she has. You want so.
It reminds me, and that's what we're bearing witness to with Boyce.
Oh yeah.
As much money as Boyce has, he could have bought him any number of fine women.
Yeah, and he said so.
Yeah.
He called.
So you know it's beyond the physical.
Well, you see that there's some guys that are famous that like Russell Wilson. He always wanted Sierra. He got her. Yeah.
I mean, like Russell did that too. Like he finally got like Laura Winslow. He said, "I'm wearing you down, baby. I'm wearing you down." And if you just stay on their ass long enough, you'll get them. That's what he did.
Even in Russell Wilson's defense, though, at least that was a famous chick that he probably was putting up on his wall at some particular point. Yeah. We don't know who that chick is.
It don't matter. It don't matter her fame, even her beauty or lack thereof. It only matters the movie, the love story that starts playing in the mind and the spirit of that man that particular woman provoked. That's the only thing that matters.
Yep. Man, that shit was like the Notebook of fucking Forrest Gump.
It is a Notebook. It is a notebook. That's exactly what it is.
Hey. I described it as shell shock. I described on my channel. I talked about it as shell shock on how you could be next to your partner and he gets shot, and the mind is so powerful that you can tell yourself that you haven't been. Yeah,
the thunderbolt. Yeah,
yeah. That's what he's experiencing.
He experienced that a long time ago when he saw her walk. When he saw her walk across in the lunchroom when he was in college. That's when he got it. He never got over it.
You all have no how. I mean, I bet that man has had so many dreams and fantasies and visions about being with that woman. That's like I said, he could have had a lot of different women overall this time.
Right.
And the fact that particular woman, even after everything she's done, that is the one. He has he planted the flag on that woman.
Yep.
We gotta leave Boyce alone because that woman is hearing this information. She getting fed up. She feel disgusting. And her pussy drying up. and he boys not married, and now he getting bad sex, and we should be getting honeymoon. He should be getting honeymoon phase 6, but now she mad at this criticism the internet giving her,
Bro,
and it's cunning.
she old. She old.
And she
I mean,
ain't
let's
used
just
to
keep
it.
it real.
And
She
she
old, so it ain't gonna make much difference. She whatever whatever's gonna happen with her in the bedroom gonna happen. She old. She's set in her ways. Boys ain't threatening her with no hot young thing or anything like that. I'm sure. That's my guess. I'm pretty sure he's not threatening her with no hot young thing. So she gonna be who she gonna be.
She his
She
golden
lucky at
parachute.
the end of the day.
He like I said, he the golden parachute for her, and I can tell already by the way, like when I've seen them two together and how he's all googly-eyed in love. You can already see it, and I'm happy that he's happy. But girlfriend don't look like she all that googly-eyed over him. Like
she like Willie D.
She like I wouldn't even be surprised if she even liked. And I saw that picture, but I wouldn't be surprised if she even liked the Kwame Brown. Like, oh, look at this dude smacking back because, and that's the reason why I believe Boyce is acting like that, because the attention she's getting on the internet and the crap she's getting. So he's just trying to step up and try to act tough in front of her.
He put her out
dude,
there.
you ain't that dude. You ain't that dude.
Yeah, he did put her out there.
Yeah, but
I'm saying right. He put her out there, and that's like I tell her, I would never like if like my girl. She don't. You have heard her talk in the background, but she don't. She don't really want to come on. She's like, no, I don't want that type of attention. Some people don't want that attention, but you got to be thick-skinned to be able to take it. Because, and no offense, these motherfuckers out here is vultures. I mean, like one thing I've known to being around 10 years, I done heard everything. Like that's why if you can see, don't bother me no more. You can talk about me, my kids, this, that, the other. It's just what it is.
But check this though,
Boys
Judge.
could have did that. He could have got married, and it could have all been in the background somewhere. Nobody needed to see her picture. Nobody need to know her name or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He could have just said, "I got married" as an announcement, as part of whatever he was doing on his thing. He want to put it out there like that, and at the end of the day, he put it out there like that. And once you make her public, right. And once you make her public, the unfortunate about of putting anything out in the public is that public opinion is coming. You can't put nothing out in the public unless you want public opinion.
He put her out there, but he can't protect her, and his money ain't buying. His money, he got respect because of a little bit of money, but his respect ain't enough to make niggas shut up. Like the way these brothers talking shit, if they saw Moist out in public, they might even slap him in front of his girl. And he wouldn't even be able to do shit. And she's starting to realize that.
Well, yeah, that's why you can tell that all this flack that he getting, and he getting flack from men who like look like they would go ahead and swing some hands. And then when you see, well, wait a minute, I got this soft get nerd dude and these like tough tighter dudes, and these are the type of dudes that I'm used to messing with anyway, showing how dominant they are over my man. I mean, that don't make them too good a home life.
Well, you know what? I respect the fact that he's made money and things like that, and he's good from a financial aspect. I just don't even mention the dude. I ain't mentioned him on my show because I'm gonna let that dude have what he got. The money should make her comfortable. It ain't like she can do better anyway to a certain degree, because I heard she had like 3 kids or anything. So she probably not gonna do better than Boyce. So she better regardless of his situation, she better fall in love with her situation.
They have to be pretty close to grown because they're in the 50s.
That's a terrible picture.
Yeah, it is a bad picture. Kevin shifted that.
That is awful.
So this is what I was going to say. It's the wrong viral moment. It's the wrong viral moment. She wanted this viral moment, and black people point. She got the wrong viral moment. She's getting a viral moment, but she's not getting a viral.
He's just as happy.
Yeah, she's not getting the viral moment that she was bargaining for.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. What does that says to you when a woman looks at you the way this woman is looking at
Willie D? She's looking at him. Look at how her body leans in that picture. Look in the direction of her body lean.
Her hips are leaning to him, like they twisting
Look,
towards.
if you didn't
Like
know
she's trying to.
anything, if you didn't know anything about them, you would assume that she married
Right.
Willie.
Yeah, she's trying to slide over. She looks like she's trying to slide over to Willie's D.
Right.
Hey, boy,
Oh, you're
he ain't got
wrong,
no
Kevin.
shoes on. Boy, ain't got
Kevin,
no
you're
shoes
wrong.
on.
If you had a pen on the MacBook, you could create the space between her and him. Look at the space right there. That's
That you know.
Kevin, you're
It's a
wrong,
bad
Kevin.
picture.
You're
It
wrong,
is a
Kevin.
bad picture, but I'm gonna say, and for the sake of black love, she better understand she ain't about to do no better than boys. She better fall in love with her situation. She ain't gonna do no better.
Hips.
Oh, she knows it. That's how come she with him. She knows.
I'm
it already.
watching her hips, man. Her hips don't lie.
Yeah, I know, but she ain't going nowhere, man. She
No,
last stop.
She can't get nothing better.
That's the
And
last
then
bus.
she ain't going nowhere till after 5 years, so she at least
Nah, she ain't going nowhere. She's in her 50s. She ain't going nowhere, man.
Oh yeah, she can't.
oh,
she
no.
doesn't put
She
up.
gonna wait to have this.
Now, when you say
No.
ain't going nowhere, what do you mean? Because
That's the last stop.
I'm saying there is something we call cuckoldry, and
yeah, but
that
she's.
picture looks like cuckoldry.
Hey, you never know. He might allow her for it. It might be in his
That's what I'm saying.
contract.
That's what I'm saying. That's a picture that looks like she gonna be stepping out.
She ain't gonna. Well, basically, she probably going through menopause, so she probably ain't gonna be doing that much. So,
Do you
she's in her
think Willie?
50s.
I got a question for y'all. Do you think Willie took that hand and slapped her ass that night?
In her ass. Hey,
I'm
that-
about to slap
Hopefully
this
it
ass.
really ain't that bad.
African lady.
Willie's had enough coochie. He doesn't need to
Yeah.
mess with somebody else's wife.
yeah. Hey, you know what that picture looks like? That picture like, hey boys, can you go get me a drink over there real quick? Like
Yeah.
way over there.
Yeah, he looks like the best man. He don't look like the groom.
He husband number two. That's husband number two.
Husband number two. Hey, I ain't mad at it. Got to get in where you fit in.
But y'all gotta keep in mind, some photographer took this picture on purpose.
No, he did.
But who published it though?
Look at Willie D. Willie D. Like, don't take that. Willie D. Like, don't take.
I guess boys
He
must not have
Boys
had any
published it.
control. Oh, he published that?
Yeah.
Why would
Willie
he
D put that picture out there.
That's a bad.
Willie D put it out? Okay.
Willie D
I know.
put that picture out.
Yeah, Willie D got it on his Facebook page. His
Why
Facebook
would
fan page.
Willie D put that? See, that don't seem
It doesn't make
that
sense.
don't seem right, Willie.
Willie ain't shit.
Yeah, Willie know what he was doing.
That ain't right, Willie.
Man,
No,
Willie,
I
look
think-
at that camera.
Look,
I'm trying to look at the camera, y'all. If I look in the eyes, it's wrong.
No, but here, this is what it is. Willie D probably is just trying to. Willie D is really red pill, and he just put that picture out there so that we would know. Like, look, dude, you know,
Like,
you really
look,
don't
boy.
need to. Look, you got 3 kids. You golden parachute, dude. Don't make mistakes like
Let
this.
me tell you, that's a straight up fuck him look. that she got
Yeah,
on her
that's
face
a
right
real
there.
bad look.
That's
I
a
ain't
straight
gonna
up fuck him look on her face right
lie.
there.
Yeah.
Oh God! Boys look like a nun came and put a ruler between him and his wife.
But look like oh
It's
yeah.
your-
Now that I look at it, look how close her waist is to his waist.
That's what I said. Look
I
at
mean,
her
look.
body. Her body
this is
leans towards him.
No, but look at Boy's wife. Go to show you, she done pulled away from him so much that his suit jacket pulling open.
Wow.
Was Chris Brown at that wedding? Was Chris
That's
Brown
how,
at that wedding?
that's how much sexual energy she's pulling towards Willie D.
What I'm saying was Chris Brown at that wedding?
What?
Y'all know was Chris Brown at the wedding?
I don't think you
I
mean
don't
to
think
hold
so.
them loyal.
I don't-
No,
Why would Chris
I
Brown be at the wedding?
Why would Chris Brown be there to beat her ass or something?
Man, they're way too old for it. They're way too old for
Yeah,
Chris Brown.
yeah, I doubt it.
Well, he said these hoes ain't loyal.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the wedding song. You talking about the wedding song right now?
Yo, I want to know why come Boyce got his shoes off for y'all. And Willie D, wait, what's up with that? Why you running around there barefoot, bro?
Who knows, man? Shoes
Because
probably
he in
hurt.
it now. He in it now. He in it. It don't even matter no more. Now he in it now.
You all
Good for him.
think Boyce has any like brothers who are like friends. I don't get the impression that he has any like long term type
He
brother
does.
friends.
He does. He's one of those guys that's not gonna listen to you anyway.
Right.
You think so? So no
Yeah,
matter what you tell him,
yeah,
all the warning signs,
yeah.
still I'm in love and that's
I'm
it.
in love. I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, he's that
It's
kind of guy.
Well,
like
his money, I'm sure
like,
somebody told him not to do this because
yeah,
he
Oh
got,
yeah.
he got money.
See,
So somebody
I
told him not
can
to do
see
this.
marrying a baby mama who is beautiful and is young enough to give you some more beautiful children. I mean, I could see if she was younger and you're just so caught up in making this family with her, but you
Yeah.
right.
can't even make any beautiful kids with her.
What? How old is Boyce? Boyce is 54, right?
Right. Somewhere
Yeah.
around there, yeah.
Yeah. He's not making any more kids. This is his last. That's the
Well,
last stop.
But
so
that don't mean you don't get
the
you a
point,
30-year-old though.
then what's the
You know,
point?
Because he don't want to make any more kids. In other words, this is the last stop to get the woman that he always wanted. So that's the last stop.
But she
And
ain't the same though.
That
it
man
doesn't.
waited
man.
29 years.
It makes no difference. It
In his
makes no
mind,
difference, man.
she is 21 years old forever.
Yeah.
In his mind.
She's the one.
man,
Yeah.
I mean, BGS, you could break down how men are, so how we feel like it's more appropriate for us to die
It,
with
it,
the
it,
woman
it's
than
because it's more than looks. Okay. Anybody's
right.
ever been in love, and anybody's ever been
Yeah.
in love. You being near her just holding her. I always say that. How do you know
right.
if you're in love with a woman? If you can just sit there and hold her and you can feel
Mhm.
love from her, that's when you know you're in love. Okay, he been in love with this chick from the first time he saw her. Doesn't
Oh yeah.
matter. She could be
Yeah,
90.
yeah, he was in love
I,
with pictures. He was in love when she was with for 29 years.
Mm-hmm.
29
I,
years.
And when she was with another man making his
Haven't.
kids,
Yeah.
he was still in love with her.
Yeah, he
He was
was.
still waiting for
That's
her.
Yeah.
Still
what,
waiting for
I mean, there's chicks that have your kids and still in love with a dude. So
her. Hmm.
it is what it is.
is that sane? Is that sane?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
gonna tell you
love.
what it,
it's the same. It's the
It's
same.
love.
what
It's imprint. It's love.
Anybody's
what
ever. That's how come you always if every time I got involved with a chick, that after past a certain age, I always ask her about who her love is, who her true love is,
Oh
and,
wow.
and she'll tell you. Yeah. So
I
it is what
mean,
it is.
I remember being young and being in love with a chick who was in love with another dude.
Yeah, that
Remember that?
happens. You're not gonna.
And I remember and her being in love with that other dude did not affect my being in love with her.
No. In
It
other
did.
words, basically, unless you're her first stop, her first, okay, there's gonna be somebody before you. The thing
Yeah.
is, you want to know who that dude is.
Yeah,
I was
I remember waiting the dude out or trying to
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, not that wait him out, but things you want to know who the dude is. So in case
You
you
know,
run across him or somebody that's like him, you
and
want
he
to know.
was bigger and tougher and older than me, so I was kind of scared of him.
Yeah.
But I was still waiting.
Oh shit. Nah, I don't know about all
It
that.
was bad. It was bad.
I don't know
It
about
was
all
bad.
that.
That's a powerful drug.
It
That's a
was
powerful.
bad. It was bad.
That's a
I was
powerful.
well
young.
from
It
the
was bad.
outside.
It was bad.
Well, we looking at it from the outside part.
Hmm.
Now what we're seeing because we're not him is we're looking. And this is what I think most guys are seeing. What we're seeing is we're looking at Boyce Watkins and how
Hmm.
he's established himself as a man, what he's accomplished, and we're looking at Boyce like, do you value yourself? If you value yourself and you got all that what you got, how did you end up with her? So
Well,
the value ain't
But
right
he
in our eyes.
values himself
well,
as a PhD and a brilliant, successful businessman. But
it
that
has
don't necessarily have
it has
anything to do
it
with what
has
he was
he,
when he met her 30 odd years ago.
there's billionaires that do the exact same thing. Doesn't matter about
Exactly.
how much money, how famous you are.
Yeah.
If you've been in love like that, and that's
Mhm.
the woman for you, she will always be the woman for you, no matter what.
Yep.
Don't
Yeah.
care
No,
who
no,
you are
I
or how
get what
far
you're
you go.
saying. I'm saying that's how we looking at it from the outside.
Oh,
Because from the outside looking in, it's like, man, if you got all
yeah,
this, if I had all this, I would make a totally
yeah.
different move. That's
But
how we look at it.
as much as we say it, everybody, some people can resist it, and some people never get the
Mhm.
chance. But the thing is, everybody has that one, and if she
Yep.
comes back, that one, if she's open to being with you, that's a hard drug to fight. It
Yep,
is.
and that's his one right there. I mean, like literally, I remember back in the day when I was watching his videos, and he would go into it and talk about her for a minute
Mm-hmm.
or two, and you can tell,
Oh
like,
no.
man,
Wow.
You can
If you
tell.
ever get a
Yeah,
chance, yeah.
he was like this. I'm like, man, this broad right here could tell him to jump off a building. He do it.
Mm-hmm.
He might.
And he finally got it.
Plus, he wants us to take the mentality that you can fix anything. Like, she's got 3 kids. I finally got her at the deadline, but I can make this great too.
Now, what he's saying is that if my love for her is so great and so wonderful that love will conquer all, that means that you all can find a baby mama, love too.
Exactly.
That's his lowest lane.
Yeah.
It sounds like
exactly.
It sounds like putting the pussy on the pedestal. Is that putting the pussy on the
No,
it's not the pussy.
it's not pussy. Yeah, the pussy.
It's
Yeah.
not the pussy.
It's your ego. I think it's your ego.
If it were only the pussy, it would be more manageable.
Yeah.
It's not the pussy.
It's not the pussy.
The pussy on a chain wax.
That pussy is in his mind.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the mental break. I mean, no offense, you can't say it's a pussy because that shit on a walker.
Yeah.
I remember that skit, Kev. I remember.
I mean, we all have it. I remember falling in love with this little Puerto Rican chick that I didn't know anything about.
Spicy.
You know? And I was going through all kinds of gang infested neighborhoods.
Oh shit! Oh, you was young then, though.
Looking for this, right?
You
but
were young then.
I didn't even care.
Did she call
I didn't even care.
Because you were young.
Poppy? Did she call you Poppy?
Once, you know, and she flirted with me a little bit. She worked at this restaurant, a hot dog stand. And I would go there after football practice in high school, right? And I saw her a couple of times. I just fell in love, and I would go there all the time looking for her. And I would go through, like I say, you know, the Latin Kings and all this kind of stuff just to try to get to this girl. I didn't care. I didn't care anything at all about what I was dealing with. I was in love with that girl. And I remember when she moved away, and I looked for her. Years later, I would go looking for her. Years later.
Fools rush in, huh?
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you can tell. You know, you can look in his eyes.
Yeah.
That is the one.
Yeah. The thing is, that's not the problem. The thing is to preach to other men. That's when he kind of went off the rails.
Because he's so much in love with her that Boyce Watkins would probably fight any man. He'd be like, and say,
he would.
Mike Tyson said, he'd try to talk shit to Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a deadly type love there.
Well, that's what I said. I wish he had some friends who say, "Look, man, we appreciate, you know, your love. She's the one, whatever. But you don't need to be doing this shit public."
Right.
Okay, guys. Okay, let me. I put this comment on the screen. I don't quite know why. Maybe I'm trying to be funny or something. But Viscount Lavelle, thanks for tuning in. He says nothing is sadder than a man that has never been in love. No matter that you're red pill now and know better.
Yep. That is true. I kind of enjoyed that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was happy for him when he was showing her in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to know it. It's good to know it.
You can't overdo it, though.
Yeah, I'm guessing what happened. He married her. He used to always talk about her on the videos. Like, he would spend like 5 or 6 minutes talking. So, like, that's why I was sitting up there saying, man, if somebody went back and watched all them old videos and pull out splices for there, they could eat that shit up. I mean, no offense, you're an easy target. So for him to be talking shit about other content creators is kind of stupid. Because I mean, no offense, he can't handle that type of smoke. Because once the trolls go, because once the trolls come in, they're gonna talk like that's because you may not talk about family, other trolls will. Remember, like I said, everybody's rules is different. And they gonna go, as I said, she ain't built to handle that smoke, and that's the reason why he's trying to act tough. Because he's trying to act tough in front of her because he loves her so much. So brother man gonna stress stress his ass into a grave. Because he ain't built for that type of smoke.
That's her goal. That's her goal.
If you don't come out and publicly say that y'all hate black women unless y'all date single mothers, because that's what I was told he said, and you don't say that and take this picture. Right. You don't do both of those things.
No, you don't.
That's
not if you're smart. No.
If you're not
using the picture,
huh?
Where's his shoes?
Where's his shoes? That man ain't gonna get his
He come,
pants hem. That man wedding day, he didn't get his pants hem. Come on, man. This supposed to be forever.
Yeah, ever?
Yeah, that man tried to put on. That's what happened when he tried to put on his big boy pants.
Baby's mama's mamas.
Wasn't quite ready, huh?
He doesn't have any biological children of his own, does he?
He does. He have a daughter. Remember,
Does he have a daughter?
no, he does. He does. That's why I said. That's why I said he could have just said, "I'm a single parent and I married a single parent."
That's his biological child.
The daughter. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's.
he got one because I seen her. I seen the chick on his.
To the daughter's mother.
Is it? I don't know. I know he has a daughter. He shows off. I didn't know if it was.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's his biological daughter.
I don't know if it's his biological daughter either.
I don't know.
I didn't think it was.
No,
But maybe it
has
is.
he ever mentioned the child's mother?
Ooh,
I don't think he ever has.
No.
Because he always talks about he's been a stepfather, and the only child he ever talks about is that
but
girl.
Wait,
Hey, hold on. Real quick,
Kevin. So wait a minute. You taking care of a kid that ain't yours because you've been sent in the stepdaddy role, and you roll into marrying a baby mama.
Yeah, why not? You've done it for a long time, so why not? He's got experience in it. Okay, yeah.
Now, but listen, if that ain't like a meme for a T-shirt, sucker born every minute. Wait a minute, chick has a downright baby daddy, but don't worry, boy swap and step in as a friend and raises the child, treats her like his own. So basically, you ain't never had sex with the first woman, but you still raising the other kid because you just took her under your wing. Okay, fine.
Pay for college.
And then now you marry a chick with three kids. Oh God.
I can't be certain, but I don't. That's why I asked. Is that his
It's
biological?
unclear.
If that's
Kev,
true,
you ain't
that
shit.
man.
Impression that this
Kev, you ain't shit, Kev. Kev, you ain't shit, Kev. You know that. What's that? The void. The void of it.
The void, huh?
The void. Like I said, I mean, there's some different type of body language there.
Hey,
Some different.
Boy, watch him. He gonna make a song called "Simp Juice."
No, he's only
Somebody
49.
drinking
Okay, he's
this.
not 50 yet. Okay.
So she older than him?
No, they should be. I think she might be a little older than he is because I think
like 3 years older.
I think he was a freshman when he first saw her, and I think she's a little older than she.
But you know what? That happened to me when I first went to college. I was a freshman, and there was this girl who was a senior, and she was a Delta and everything. And 3 6 Mafia had just came out with that CD, Most Known Unknown, and I had the music and everything. And it was raining one night, and she wanted that CD real bad. I ran through that whole.
This is a great story. Go ahead, please.
He knows exactly what CD was and everything.
I ran through that whole campus in the rain to give her that CD, bro.
I'm actually visualizing this.
I see him running across the football field for some reason.
I had a Carl Jr. burger, and she wanted a bite. You don't know, Baby D. See, you don't know, Baby D. You don't know, Baby D.
I see Herb running across the football field while it's raining outside.
Running across the quad in the rain.
Run between the raindrops.
Boy Watson looked like in that picture, like, look, man, I finally got her. She may be 50 and I ran through 2 or 3 walls and been rolled wet and rolled hard and put away wet, but I got her.
Got her.
But when you're in love, to be fair, when you're in love, you know, all this her sins are cleansed. Washed all the other men's sperm away.
No, dude, that's horrible. That's horrible. That is shame on you, Udo. Don't let the smooth voice fool you, huh? Who was a savage?
Hey, what they call the people that that drink the sperm out of the woman after the
Oh
other
Lord.
dude.
Oh
That's
gosh.
boy.
Wait, what? What?
Oh. Oh.
Hey,
Whoa!
oh my God.
All right, that's
Oh my
enough.
God.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's enough. Ugh.
Wow. Okay, let me read this super
Whoa.
chat. Let me read this super chat from Red Star 7311 or 7311 or 7311. However you want to read that. He says, even though Boyce is a juggernaut against WS, and by the way, BMBBH news without the WS, we fear he may turn into Roland Martin. RP men want him to keep his eyes open.
Why about that?
Say you're
They're
gonna turn
putting
it. So you're saying Boy's gonna turn into a human gerbil? That's what you're saying?
He's not already. Okay.
Man, he gonna have a big ass wheel at the house. He gonna run around that shit constantly. That's what you're telling me he gonna turn into? This is Boyce. Boyce is a. Go ahead.
Well, can your eyes, given what we know about how things work and have learned about how things work, can your eyes be open? Can you be a valiant opponent of white supremacy and not be red pilled, particularly as a black man? I don't think those two can coexist.
Well,
I don't think you can be a valiant opponent of white supremacy if you don't have a red pill view of black people.
And if something happens in a relationship, I want to be the first one to say this. Please put Boyce on suicide watch.
He's still putting up wedding videos. He really
That's what I said. Right. That's what I said. If their relationship
Good Lord.
falters, they need to be put him in the hospital. Why? In 24-hour surveillance.
I'll be scared of a woman that laid down and risked her life 3 times to have someone else's baby, and she's not with him. Hell, you got to really watch a woman that risk her life 1 time for another man to have his kid and walk away from him, but 3 times, and you think that you think she's gonna have a loyalty to you when she has risked her life 3 times and ain't got no loyalty to that? I don't know, bro. That's hardcore. Right there, man.
I don't think that matters to him. I think him just possessing her. I think that's all that mattered to him.
Once,
He's willing to fight
twice,
to keep her.
3 times a lady.
No. Here you go. Boyce Watkins is the perfect example. But listen, if you were one of those people that say the problem with when they say the women come around and that, see what I'm talking about? Boyce Watkins is a prime example. Sometimes when people come, because she wasn't no YouTuber out and like that. And look up now, this dude risking his career on how he look, his image and all like that over her. And I mean, he taking bad shots. Now you got him doing things that's way out of character. And that's what I said. That's why I totally understand when people say sometimes women shouldn't be allowed.
Is it out of his character though?
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
Well, the only reason I'm asking is
yes.
Trump. I mean, is that Boyce has always been on this ultra pro black female thing.
Oh
so,
yeah. Well,
I mean, to me, this is sort of like his ultimate manifestation of his ultra black female thing, the valiant black mother.
Well, yeah, right. I noticed that Boyce back then when he made the statement when we were going when the coronavirus first shut everything down, and then this is what he did. He said, but then immediately backtracked. He was talking about the people who owe child support shouldn't get no help from the government during the pandemic. Whenever, like he was saying, then that money should go to the mother. And it's like, well, wait a minute, dude. You realize people done been off of work for 2 months, so everybody owes child support. Then the people who, then he kind of backtracked it and said that during the show. So, but I always go like this: a person's first, what they came out their mouth first is really what they meant, and that's how I knew that. It's like, wait a minute, dude, we talking about. So why don't we just sit up here and say it? Because I said that'd be funny. I was saying I hope that you caught the 19, because we could say overweight black men don't need to have access to ventilators.
Oh wow!
Now what you understand what I'm saying? If I made a comment like that during a pandemic where it ain't no fact is everybody's at risk. It ain't no, well, we gonna do this. So you gonna say, well, what? We gonna feed everybody but the people who owe child support? Or we gonna then I can say, well then fine, what we gonna give everybody ventilators but the overweight black dudes? You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? You can't just in a pandemic, you can't just cut people off just for that. But he did that. When he did that, made that comment right there, like the women in the chat room, they were, oh, you could tell that was just lighting up to them. But then he kind of backtracked on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude is really saying whatever it takes for these women.
yeah.
And I'm like, during the pandemic, what are we gonna do? Sit up here and say if aliens came down and attacked us? Oh well, you know, if they owe child support, y'all can take them. Don't worry about them.
Okay, all right. Well, y'all mentioned something earlier, like just a second ago, that Boyce Watkins was acting out a character, and as you can see by the image on the screen, you know, he was doing a Stone Cold Boyce Watkins right here, and for someone who has presented himself the way he's presented himself, yeah, shooting two birds like you're at the club taking pictures with your homies, that's pretty much out of character at this point. So let me ask y'all a question. Do you think we should leave this man alone for his own mental stability?
Yes.
No, let that nigga burn. Let everybody light his ass on fire and let him burn to the fucking ground. We shouldn't be saying the shit he says. Therefore, he should face consequences.
Yep.
I don't want to see him burn because he is a black man. I think we should just, like you say, let it all calm down. I hope we brush other shit under the rug. Everything else that everyone else does to us, we brush under the rug. I think we should brush this one under the rug and then just come back.
Sir, have you married a single mother? Have you taken a single mother off the market?
No.
I really feel like you should. Something's wrong with you, black man. Why haven't you went and picked up a used car? Why don't you like salvage titles?
Hey man, I just bought a used car.
Don't you see that
you talk about the
1990 Porsche on the lot? So what if the transmission bad and the front tire is fucked up? You should pick that up for full price.
That good Honda Civic.
Yeah. And allow her 3 girl trips a year.
Hey, I don't mind what Boyce did. I always say men should be able to choose their own path, but using the analogy Donnie just gave, if you gonna tell me I have to buy a Honda Civic, a 93 Honda Civic, and pay a car note for it, or I hate cars, that ain't gonna sound right.
The 93 Honda Civic came out at 20,000, sir. It was 20,000. That's what you gonna pay for it now. What you gonna pay cash or you finance it? What's your credit look like, Playboy? What kind of job you got?
It's a hatchback. It's a hatchback.
What you putting down, sir?
She looked like she got a hatchback. But you know what? I would say, Kev, I would say, to be honest with, I had a video talking about support for Derek Jackson. So I would say, like, in a perfect world, yeah, I would take him offline. In a perfect world, I would take him like in the kitchen, out back. We would deal with him out back. A group of us would deal with him like offline.
Wait a minute.
In a perfect world.
Would that be? If you did it out back, would that be? Right. Would that be the steakhouse that Boyce was taking her to? While he was talking about out back?
Hey, but I think he's talking about old school time. I think
Boyce was taking her to Ruth Chris because a queen of her caliber deserves Ruth Chris. Don't you understand that she had multiple children? And because she had multiple children, she deserves a $54 steak.
Yes, we gotta get a steak for them too. We gotta get food for the kids too.
Oh yeah.
We gotta get our iron levels up.
Them buckaroo steaks.
Buckaroo.
You better buy one for the kids. All 3 of them.
All 3.
Them kids got to get a 6-ounce each.
I think the kids get to go on a date with them. Honestly, I think the kids get to go on their dates.
Baby's kids.
I'm really curious. I wonder if Boyce was like, hey, listen, so you want to go on a date? Well, I would like to, but I don't have money for a babysitter. Don't worry about that, baby. I'm going to pay for your babysitter, and we're going to get the kids takeout menus.
I'm gonna take you down there to Motorola and get you that package deal.
Your 9-year-old don't have a cell phone? Baby, are you tripping? You got to know where they are at all.
Right. They need the iPhone 13. It's like, I know it ain't out yet, but don't worry. I got connections. We'll get it for you.
I got you. I got you. He told her, I got you.
All right, fellas. All right, listen up, listen up. Right now I got 88 watching. I have 70 likes, 69 likes, and I have 2 dislikes. So congratulations to me once again.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze.
It's like ice cream.
I do feel like we are giving Boyce Watkins a much harder time than we did Derek Jackson, though. We really talked Derek. We talked shit to Derek Jackson for like 1 week, and we got all the smoke for Boyce, though.
I'm sorry, life isn't fair, but go ahead and elaborate.
But no offense, this ain't Boyce Watkins' first time doing this shit. I mean, we know that, like Derek Jackson, that was his whole motto. He stayed in his lane talking about us for clout. Boyce Watkins, this ain't his first time. He did it back with multiple, I hate to say it, and it's always been females. I mean, when you look at all the history, all the people that you see, even the people he done fell out with, the only people that really took that he went through bullshit and trouble with were females.
Well, you gotta understand, Derek Jackson had hoes on the side, so he could say whatever he wanted to.
Right.
And he was living his best life.
So we have more
hoes on the
respect for
side.
Derek Jackson.
You niggas gonna take this medicine, but listen, I got hoes.
I got hoes. I see how we could be mad at a brother for having hoes on the side. I felt like we needed to support him.
That nigga was doing a video about how grown men can only deal with single mothers. Single mothers for grown men. And then he would turn off the video and turn up the radio to be, I got hoes. I got hoes.
Hey, seriously, fellas, real quick. I mean, we've been awfully hard on Boyce Watkins tonight, and although I don't feel like it's so severe that an apology is warranted, I just want to say this one right here, Boyce Watkins, since we did this, especially me, who I feel like I encouraged it, this one's for you.
Twerk.
He earned it.
Yeah, he earned that one. Yeah. So I hope you appreciate us for that, boys. Don't ever say we ain't do nothing for you. And try, we got bitches twerking over here. So,
Boyce is gonna sub you. He gonna sub you so hard. That nigga's gonna sub. To these lesser YouTube guys. I bet you can't say that what you've done for the black community. I've uplifted a queen. Okay, I'm taking care of 3 kids. Ain't mine.
Kev is married.
I'm caring about the legacy of kids that are out here without a daddy. Well, their daddy's here. They pick them up on Wednesday, but still.
Edward, you're not helping, because if you point out the fact that Kev is married, Kev didn't date a single mother, so Kev's still in the category of hating black women, according to Boyce, if that's what he said.
Well, what I'm saying is, I wanted to come up because it was an interesting dynamic talking about Derek Jackson. I mean, at the end of the day, Derek didn't get a pass. There's a lot of people that talked about Derek. It's just that was Derek's brand, and Derek was not for men at all. He never claimed to be. That was his brand, and people kind of realized it's better to let him sink on his own than help him grow. Because that's the thing, we smarter than a lot of these chicks. A lot of these chicks, they basically cuss Kevin Samuels out all the way to 1 million subscribers. We realized that nigga got a lot of following. I mean, us talking shit ain't gonna change him doing shit. So it might as well just leave it be unless he say something extra fucked up, and he'll make an unforced error, which he eventually did. Versus Boyce actually has a pretense of trying to talk about the community, and talking about the community requires black men. And as a black man who tries to act like he's balanced, because you remember he tried to start Black Men United and all that. You have a lot of dudes that really was rocking with what he did, and they supported him against Roland Martin. They supported him, a lot of them, against Umar. And they are just very disappointed. And so they kind of go at him a little bit harder because they hold Boyce to a higher standard than Derek, as far as community shit.
Where your
That's
baby mama?
really why that is the way it is.
Go get
I
your baby
I
mama.
don't know why this is such a strange phenomenon. Boys ain't had no vagina near him or around him or anything else, and that wasn't by choice.
Hey,
So
Donnie, false. Y'all know Yvette Carnell.
I hate you, nigga.
Well, not even that. Well, a lot of people, and then another thing too is Boyce Watkins is responsible, for really the reason why you guys, Boyce and Tariq are responsible for Cynthia G.
Yeah.
Really, Boyce. Boyce is the
Boys.
reason why Cynthia G was given the pretext of being pro-black, even though her whole damn family is married white folks. So that's another thing that people forget too. I always tell people, go to Boyce's channel and type in Cynthia G. And the thing is, if you actually know the women he promoted, there was a lot of really good women he did not promote. I'm talking about women married to black men. They knew what they were talking about and understood what needed to be said. I'm not gonna say they were Kendra D, but they weren't Cynthia D either. And he
Boyce
chose
was
to
putting
promote
on
her over
bitches in the hopes
other.
of smashing. Is that what you're telling me? Because that's what it sounded like. Boyce was
I don't.
in
I'm
the
not gonna
hopes
say that,
of
but you did.
sniffing the
But
seat.
Donnie, what you gotta ask too is a lot of these females got hella mad at that dude when they left the door. Like, how many women have slammed the door like on their way out? BTX, Paris Milan, and so it's got to be some commonality with that. But then again, somebody would have tried to get some money out of that nigga though, because he got it.
That nigga,
So,
I guarantee you that nigga was giving out money. The nigga was giving money to Yvette Carnell. You think he wasn't giving it to the
well, no.
non-dyke
What I'm
bitches?
talking about is if it was some shit like, especially on some Me Too shit, he would have had to pay out to shut up. And that didn't
Nah,
happen. Because remember, a
nah.
lot of
That
people
nigga's a
cussed him
gentle
out because
trick.
he was cheap. Well,
That nigga's
Paris
a
got mad at
gentle
him
trick.
because he wouldn't pay.
He's a gentle trick. He thought he was giving Yvette Carnell some money while that bitch lived with her mom and dad.
Well,
You telling me?
well, that's the thing. Everybody keeps saying the reason why all the women are mad at him is because he didn't give no money, or he didn't give enough, or at least what he said he would give, or what he was
Enough.
owed. Because remember,
I'll
Yvette
give
worked
you
for him.
enough.
Well, I get that. I'm not trying to go in his business, but Yvette basically did a lot of work for him. So these are people that did work. I don't care. My point is, Boyce is held to a higher standard than Derrick Jackson. Another thing, too, is Derrick Jackson is relatively young versus Boyce is like in his 44. You would think, too,
I
Boyce
thought
being a
Derrick Jackson was
non-select
like
guy,
30,
that he would
38,
understand.
39.
Nah, he ain't that old. Derrick Jackson is like 30. He's not that old. I thought he was old too. I thought he was older too until somebody said how old somebody was commenting on him. It one of these fucking bitches talking about like I think it was, I'm not gonna say the name because I ain't trying to promote.
Okay, Edward has dropped off. I'm sure he'll be back up to complete his thought. But calling out this super chat from Y Skinner Man Cave. Thank you very much. He says this is the best show on YouTube this week. Keep up the good work, Kev. And what I'll say to that, Y Skinner Man Cave, is that I will carry that crown with pride. I will carry that crown with pride. All right. So thank you once again for the super chat.
Great show.
Long live the habitual line stepping niggas.
Long live, and Edward is back. So
the white folks got his phone. They was trying to stop him from putting out the information that was
I went to
nations.
Google by accident. Nah, he's 32. He's 32, and he just turned. He'll be 33 in July for what it says.
Hey yo, I'll be 34 in 4 days, y'all. June 24.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Happy early birthday.
And somebody passed the $40.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Mr. Rashid is like, people talk about he's 44. He's really 39.
Mike Rashid spending 38 hours in the gym every day.
And says that say it to his face. What we're supposed to say to his face, that he's blue pill?
What does that mean? Like nigga, you supposed to be John Wick? What the fuck does that mean?
No.
Thank you.
Guys like that, because they have big muscles, they think people are going to be scared of them, and that they automatically have an advantage. When really their biggest disadvantage is their size, because of the mentals. They think that their size can get them by with everything. But these, like you can watch random MMA fights where there's a smaller guy against a bigger guy. A lot of these bigger guys be getting scrubbed the fuck up because
Well,
they really.
what it is because I've been in the gym with these big yoked up dudes. All of that muscle mass, an extreme amount of muscle mass takes oxygen to move. So when you throw a punch, that takes oxygen, especially if you miss that punch. How much oxygen do you think this motherfucker has, and he's throwing everything at you? He don't have as much as let's say a dude who maybe a little bit scrawny and knows how to throw a punch. I mean, it's really a good combination. If he hits you, yeah, it's good night, Gracie. If you don't know what you're doing, but if he miss, I'm sorry for you, nigga. It ain't going to end well.
Well, no, you right, but even amongst nigga rules, like let's keep this all the way 100. This is when defending like the bullshit starts to bite you in the ass. Like if I'm giving my honest critique on, like, because one of the things Mike said was he was talking about, yeah, man, you wouldn't say that to my face. Yeah, I would, because you know what, you like jumping in front of a fucking car, getting hit and suing that fucking car on some ambulance chasing bullshit. Guess what? If I get right, like if I say some shit, you come up on me, and then I say the same thing, and you try to do something. Guess what, nigga? You about to pay because you got the money. So you can talk that shit about what the fuck you. Yeah, I'm going that route. And niggas can call me a bitch. They can call me all of that. But I tell you, I know that nigga got it, and he gonna pay it. You know. There'll be cameras and everything. Like we could go that route too. You know. What else? Yeah. So niggas that ain't gonna work on a nigga ain't got nothing to lose, which is usually the situation you're dealing with.
What if you hit that? If you get hit by that nigga and he knock you out, and you go to sue, and he ain't got no money because he paying child support?
Oh yeah, you can't. What's so bad is too. That's the bad thing is you can't.
That ain't his situation.
I'm just letting you know, child support get it first. So yeah, you wouldn't even.
Oh no, you're right. I believe that ain't his situation. There was actually another dude that was like a fitness dude. There was another dude that was a fitness dude that he spent like $100,000 on OnlyFans. That was that article.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, I'm dead ass serious. He had an addiction.
Stock? I'm trying to understand what the fuck he spent $100,000 on.
No, he's spending on the shit. He admitted it. He said he had a problem. He had sex. I had a problem. This was like maybe almost like a year ago. It was like it was on the TV. It was a black dude too. Dude kind of like Mike. But
so $100,000 you could buy a couple porn stars. I'm not understanding.
Wasn't having no sex. That's the only thing, though. That's crazy, man. He could have had sex for real.
Nah, but he said he was addicted to the fact it was the cam thing. Like this is a dude that had a girlfriend. His white girlfriend was very attractive.
Okay.
She was fucking.
He's addicted to the mediocrity. That's what it is. Because that's what I call OnlyFans. OnlyFans is a bunch of mediocre bitches getting paid. Because oftentimes when you look on there, it's a bunch of mediocre. Like you see him. Bitch, you overweight. What you doing over? Well, you can buy my cam for $36.99. For what, bitch? You look like the fat bitch next door. I told no.
It's about
niggas will buy it.
It's about access. It's about access. It's about access.
Yeah, it's you can look at it from a marketing point of view. There's a lot of ways you can look at it. I mean, I always find it fascinating the way black men to say shit, because it's like a lot. Now, I know this ain't you, Donnie, but a lot of dudes will say that shit. I don't understand, but then these will be the main niggas wanting to go to the damn strip club, and I mean really go, not just go every once in a while. They going all the time, and then they talking about man, I'm going for the wings.
Wrong with the strip club if it has a great wing special and it's got $2 U-collars, nigga.
And that's what niggas always say. and I've looked into that. Some I ain't gonna say most niggas are bullshitting, but there's some niggas that be bullshitting with that. Like that ain't why you going, because it's like you always broke.
Are you saying niggas is spending their whole rent check trying to make it rain on the bitch?
I'm saying that if you taking dollars, if you going over there trying to act like you making it, these are the same niggas that go to Sasua and fuck that shit up. That's why I'm a big proponent of letting Sasua Yeah, I'm a big proponent in sacrificing Sasua and then not telling these niggas about the other spots. If I find some spots, you gonna pay to find out about it because it was funny because one dude was telling me about, oh yeah, man, you heard about these niggas that are doing this dusty shit. I said, I know who it is. It's these fucking New Yorkers with these easy flight routes, like because New York has a flight route to Dominican Republic that's real cheap. And then niggas got mad at me, and then they admitted it. They said, "Yeah, that's true. Exactly. I know why y'all doing it. It ain't the niggas from Miami because they can do that shit local. It's y'all
It's 4 or
niggas that y'all want to
5
act like
different.
y'all got some money."
Yep. It's 4 or 5 different airlines with a route out of New York, and them motherfuckers be having $75 round trips. Niggas be
And
going out
that's
there
big.
like they balling.
And probably
Exactly.
be biracial or go with a biracial partner that's an Afro Latino, and that's even better.
Yeah, man, she ain't white, she's Spanish. I'm like, you fucking man. These niggas killing me.
I don't think they understand.
I would not do that if I lived in New York. Did you say 75 round trip?
It used to be it's a great weekend vacation.
I mean, if you're 20, I don't know if I could hate on the 20-year-old doing something like that. I don't know.
Nah, it's a lot of niggas. As long as you got your passport,
No,
a lot of
it's
niggas that take
age.
them
Yeah,
little trips.
age don't matter. Age don't matter. My thing is, I don't mind you going. It's just this. And look, if you do it every once in a while, sure. There's a way to do that without polluting the whole shit. Niggas, they be doing the most. It's like, yeah, man, that dollar go real far down here. Yeah, because they want to be rappers and shit. And I'm like, nigga, you like stop. But if you look, I'm not saying you can't like. For instance, if you were gonna go down there, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. If you're gonna go down there and say I'm a ball out of control, the way you do it is you rent a boat. You get like 3 guys, 4 guys. You rent a boat. You basically get the girls to bring them over there. And you know, I ain't even saying you gotta pay for them. You do it away, but what they be doing.
Niggas on boats get pussy. Niggas on boats get pussy.
Is that what it is? So the boat is just magnetizing for the pussy?
Facts.
Yeah. And you do it like a party. There's a way to do it without polluting this shit. And see, it's harder to get see Colombia. People say, well, they go do that with Colombia. No, because Colombia ain't cheap to get to. Colombia ain't cheap to get to, and yeah, it's not gonna be. It's not easy to do that shit in Colombia. It's just not. So I don't worry about that. Brazil is not as easy to get into either, but yeah, they're not gonna. Sasua is probably be a sacrificial lamb, and that's unfortunate. But Dominican Republic is still good.
You can do Mexico. You can do pretty much them 2 countries are the most easiest access.
Yeah, but yeah, man. People already talk about man, trick Jesus. I'm like, you don't have to do that. You really don't. Like, I mean, especially you being American, that's enough. You American black, they have the motherfucker think you a basketball player. Now, Dominican Republic is a little bit harder because they're more used to Americans. That's why Charles Tyler didn't like it. But if you get to like, Colombia and stuff, they're still. But BGS fucked that up. You know what BGS did, right? BGS does his fucking research, and he do an article talking. Yeah, you realize that 85% of Dominican women that have kids. I mean, not Dominican, Colombian women that have kids are single mothers. I'm like, damn, 85%. But we hate black women though.
That's most of the when I was younger. I was probably 22, 23. I went to Panama. I went all around South America, Central America, but I went to Panama, and this is what really fucked me up. It was a lot of bitches that were. It was like, damn, this motherfucker's bad. I was trying to smash everything, but what I realized is most of these bitches was pushing strollers and walking around. I was like, God damn, bitch, you got a kid? And that's just what it is. Most of South America, Central America, they all have kids. It's not just Colombia.
Yeah, because you got to remember they got because Catholicism's big there, and they don't play that abortion shit. You're not doing that. No. And then Hispanics don't do that anyway. But that's on top of that Catholicism, because that's really what it is. It ain't that just Hispanics don't do it. It's that Catholicism. Yeah, they're not doing that. That's why they coming over here and duplicate.
I was in Rocky Point, probably 17. I remember bringing this chick home from the club, and she was telling me no condom. I was like, for what? I'm Catholic, bitch. What does that mean? Me too. Let's put this condom on. You would not fucking have it.
That's that. Yeah, like so. And the thing about it is, if you somebody you like, oh man, I want a white bitch. I'm like, you might. I mean, shit. A lot of them Colombians be whiter than white people a lot of times.
Blonde hair, blue eye.
Well, I don't mean not necessarily that. Well, that too, but I mean, but they're generally not blind.
They be trying to
Yeah,
pass.
they're not blind. It's just their skin tone, like especially for them to be in the sun as much as they are, like they tend to be like just as white as white people. I mean, it broadens, it ranges. It's a lot of stuff. My biggest thing of telling dudes to travel is you should travel even if you ain't gonna get no pussy. Because I think dudes
I
underestimate
agree.
being
Yes.
out of this American fucking bubble, what that
For,
does to you in a
for
positive
black
way.
men. Yes, for black men. Say that. I don't like that black men get picked on for. This is not something that all of our grandfathers were able to do and welcome to do out of the military, outside of the military. So I think black men, if you're able to get your passport, it's a lot of growth in education besides pussy. That's an excellent point. And
That's where the
I want to ask about Panama because we talked about love earlier, and man, it was a Panamanian chick for me. So please, bro, nah, because she was stupid, dark, and oh my god, Panama.
Costa Rica.
Yambo.
Rica's good. Costa Rica's good too, especially if you like black women. A lot of people don't realize that. Costa Rica's good too. It's more
All of them
expensive
countries
now
have
than it
black
used to
folks.
be.
All of
Yeah,
them countries
Costa
have black
Rica
folks.
used to.
It's not
Yeah.
really talked about. It's not really acknowledged, but it's a lot of black folks in all of these countries, and
And
I
I
don't know
mean
why it's
blacker
not a
than our
conversation.
ass. I mean
Mm-hmm.
more African. Yeah, that's the thing. So people buying
Panamanian.
into that propaganda. People buying that, and if you learn to speak Spanish, you get access to shit you otherwise wouldn't get access to shit because you can really go in there. But like again, a lot of that is sexual politicking. Sexual politic is very important because a lot of this pro-black shit, a lot of this shit is commercialism, etc. That's why I get mad at boys too, because it's like, dude, boys is commercials, a motherfucker, and that's the thing that pisses me off about them. Because I get there's a way to run a business, but ultimately, what you do is socialpreneurship. Your capitalism is supposed to fund your overall mission, and what it comes down to is black women are the ones that are funding it more, which makes sense because it's a gynocracy. And then yeah, like I said, man, black men, and plus a lot of these black men will get off the blue pill shit if they got out the fucking country because they don't know what they're missing until they see it. I'm not, again, take the pussy off the table. Just a bitch smiling at you without you having to say something that look, it's a black woman, that'll do something to a nigga. Be like an Indian when you drop some shit and you start crying.
It's like what women explain when they talk about being victims of domestic violence. I just didn't, and then the bitch, I didn't have to argue with the bitch. I didn't have to fight. All she did was smile at me and told me she wanted to suck my dick. I didn't know what to do. I just started crying.
I've seen that. I've seen dudes like they don't go back. And the thing about it is what happens is a lot of that sexual tourism stuff muddies the argument. And we know how black men can be, but the reality is taking the bitches off the table, traveling you should still do. And just the rite of passage of getting a passport, because you gotta go through you don't gotta go through a whole bunch of shit, but you gotta go through a process to get a passport, and it's worth it. You should look at it like a rite of passage. You really should.
It's like $175 to go fill out the paperwork. You get that shit. If you live in a certain city, you can get it in a day. Otherwise, it take you a couple weeks. And then the world is your oyster. And what a lot of niggas don't understand is y'all will spend $500 to go to Miami. You could spend $500 if you catch it at the right time to take your ass down to South America, to go to Europe, to go somewhere way out of your comfort zone and just experience a new life. But niggas is afraid of that.
That's really what it comes down to. Niggas afraid to leave their fucking county, and then they'll get mad and talk some bullshit. Some people, though, you on child support, you ain't got nothing for them. Fuck you. I'm like, dude, you can go to Puerto Rico. You can get a cruise if you're willing to do that. There's ways around that too. If you just say that's an issue. But and the truth is, black women got more passports than black men, and black women are doing black women. True or false, Donnie? Black women actually trick more overseas than black men do.
Define that.
There are books like Pursuit of Happiness that talk about black women going to Jamaica, older black women to get stroked out, a lot of these whole cruises, a lot of these urban escapes. It's not talked about. We're not even talking about the swirl tour in Europe. We're not even talking about that. We ain't talking about going to Africa to find a simp.
Yo, let me tell you something. That swirl tour is the most embarrassing shit I have ever seen in my fucking life. And it That's the only thing that has ever made me ashamed to be black.
Yeah,
Them bitches
it's a lot of
is
stuff I
embarrassing.
hold back on. It's a lot of stuff I hold back on. So when I hear people, look, I don't know everything. I'm not trying to act like I do, but it's certain things when I hear people. I've learned a lot being an internet marketer, and I've jumped in a lot of like little dark things. Even when it comes to traveling, like there's the credit repair thing where motherfuckers will repair credit just to get credit cards so they can get points like that. And it just white boys, you'd be surprised what white boys be knowing, but But yeah, man, like when people be talking shit about what we doing over here, I'm not saying what the women do it too, but it's like, yo, it's almost like nobody says they've had a book out of Duke University Press. That Dennis Sperling talked about this. It was written by a black woman about black women going to Jamaica, and the Jamaican women were complaining these bitches were using their sons so much. They was like, God damn, bitch! Like again, they're getting, and it's in the book. He was talking about passages in the book. It's called The Pursuit of Happiness, and they try to make it some intersectionality, social, political thing. Like they're victims of their success. Basically 92s that can't get no man, so they basically go and start tricking in Jamaica and shit. Kind of like how Stella got your groove back in real life. It's
Let me
not
say
just,
this.
and they follow behind white women doing that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
That is some
exactly. That's where they get
bullshit.
it from.
They are not no fucking 92s. Them are some horrible elephant face looking bitches that are going down there with
We're not talking about
92
looks.
octane
We're
gas.
not talking about looks. We're
Okay,
talking about
okay.
they're not there as far as economic output.
Okay,
Like they
so
may have
that is
like a
adequate.
managerial job or something like that, and they can't get no man. So clearly there's a reason they can't get no
So
man.
I saw
Like basically like the Jesse Williams bitch, like Jesse Williams mother, like that look.
Yeah, so I saw this
So
happen
you gotta pay the
personally
fuck.
because like at one point I was doing some traveling work and I was in St. Thomas, and they do it a lot there too, where the white women will come down there and they'll sleep with all the island brothers, and this being black and dark skin, you kind of fit in. So like
King of Spades shit.
yeah, but then they hear
Or
you talk, so
Queen of
like, oh,
Spades.
they hear you talk like, oh, so you're one of us, kind of things that they end up going down. But what happens is they be doing a lot of that shit, and it did start with white women, but the white women that were doing it were better looking, and a lot of times their husbands pay for that shit, will pay for the trip, and they just went and did
Yeah,
what
it's
they
that Queen
did.
of Spades shit. They go down there with that dynamic of I'm going to go fuck me a big black buck. And yeah, their husbands will pay for that shit. Their husbands will be there and watch that shit.
Ghana's big on that because it's like a certain type of dude. Like it's a certain type of dude that they be wanting. And so certain environments that'll foster that. And then black women kind of found that in behind them, and then they'll go crazy with it. But they basically do what niggas do in Sasua, start extra tricking. But the thing is, and they'll try to, and so this is stuff that's going. So all these niggas that be talking that shit, worrying about what other dudes are doing, which is like you see this, and then these chicks, because a lot of these women, like not Kendra D, but Kendra G, that chick that was in Chicago, that Kevin pissed off when he called her out. Like that'll be one on the good side of women doing it. But that's a lot of these women that be doing that. Or when you had them network marketing females that they be talking that shit. That's what they be doing when they lonely. They be doing these girls trips, and they got whole like a lot of that Michael Bazin shit, Tom Joyner shit. That was like the surface level of it, but underneath it, it was the destination. You had this Urban Escapes, Mocha Fest, and these were whole cottage industries. Like and so this is built
Mocha
around a lot
Fest
of that
might as well
female
just be
empowerment
herpes fest.
shit.
Them bitches are the
Yeah.
thirstiest bitches I've ever come across in my whole fucking life. I just so happened to be on the island when it was a fucking Mocha Fest. And them bitches was aggressive. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
And a
do I
lot
got
of
the
them
juice
be
like
fat.
that?
A lot
And
of
let me
them be
tell you,
like Lizzo looking.
I work with a lot of women,
A lot
right?
of them, most of them, nigga.
I work with a lot of
Well, I'm
women,
trying.
and they recruit each other, right? They just
Yeah.
like a girl could just be trying to do her job and go home, go to work. They're gonna recruit that bitch into the sisterhood. It's like they're gonna they go on these trips, and it starts with Vegas. I noticed they go to Vegas first, and then once they can trust the bitch to go to Vegas, then they'll go out of the country with the hoe. And what they do is they do debaucherous stuff, and nobody better not talk. And they give each other little looks and stuff, and like you hear them whispering about it at work. And some of these women are married, some of these women are engaged, some of these women have long-term boyfriends that are really, really trying to build something with these chicks, but they get caught up. And it's like one dominant madame bitch that gets this shit going, and she just
and that delivers for evil bullshit.
yeah, and it's this one bitch. It's you see it on the job. It's this one bitch. Everywhere you go, there is one bitch. It starts with one bitch, and she just corrupts the whole. She corrupt them all, and she recruit and she corrupt. I see it happen too many times.
That's the full embodiment of the sisterhood of failure. When they come together like that's the sisterhood of failure getting together like a fraternity. Oh, bitch, you losing too? Come on down. Let me show you about this trip to Jamaica. We're gonna tell you about this hedonism trip.
And these would be the same. And see, what's crazy is they'll sit there because when black women don't hold other black women accountable worth a damn. But they'll sit there and say black men don't hold black men accountable. Black men are always shaming black men for stupid shit because they're politicking or whatever they're trying to do. Sometimes they do that for a bitch. And the thing is, I've seen all of this. So when I observe, that's why I was kind of acting the way I act. Because when I observe certain dudes, that they'll get certain dude. I'm not even talking about on the panel. I'm talking about like just the overall conversation. Or when people will try to invoke other people, and like people's histories, how they operate, what they do given the same situation. I'm like, yo, like for real, like it's kind of like dudes hurting cats versus these females, and you really see the black community's fucking backwards. The black community really operates on even in that on the inverse of itself, and I mean, I don't know, but yeah, that's another thing too. All this horror shit these women do, and it's funny because you say, oh, you go to third world because they don't have no choice. They got this. Okay, so what's your excuse? You in the first world. You in the first world, and you are one of the most protected classes in the United States. Fuck what you talking about. Y'all can get away with a lot of shit. But you doing the same shit. It didn't take but the economy to move now 1 centimeter to the left, and y'all all on OnlyFans. All of y'all are part-time fucking like shit gonna be the price of
That's
coffee.
the
Let BTS
patriarchy.
tell it.
You just upset that she's out here able to show her body and be free. Why are you mad that she's sexually liberated?
That pussy about to be worth pennies on the dollar. You damn right it's about to be free.
Yeah, and I was
Yo,
real quick, I was about to make a video about the fact that they might be in the first world, but they ask for third world spirituality because you got black women all over the country asking African and all these immigrant women to teach them juju and all this spirituality shit with sage and shit, bro. So I don't know what the hell they talking about.
Because they don't want to be. They really don't want to be Christian.
Oh shit!
They really don't want to be. Mm-hmm.
Then they making spaghetti with special flavors and sauces and shit.
Yep, so you won't never leave.
Or they doing what Summer Walker bitch ass is doing with her child, feeding her child indigestible food. Like for real, like that's crazy. Like baby looking thin and shit. Even other women, see, that's when women had to step in on that, and then she talk about fuck you bitches, because women can't check other women. At the end of the day, that's some shit they just say. So I mean, a lot of this shit, it's like folks gotta kind of get out of some of this bullshit where people want to stand on shit. And it's like at the end of the day, I'm sorry, we just got a lot of mentally weak people. It takes shit like pussy and dick just controls them so much. Like,
yeah. There's a highly sexual element to it, and a lot of the conflict that comes from men in the space between men is because of pussy. But I've often said that a lot of these problems that are discussed in this space is because sex is at the top of the list. it really doesn't make any kind of sense at the end of the day to always put sex up there at the top of the list. I mean, it's great stuff, but still.
This really just sounds like
and it don't matter if women. It don't.
I do.
well, yeah, it don't matter if women. It don't matter if women. But the thing about it is, it don't matter if women are around or not. It really don't, because I've been in space long enough to see that it's always, even when women are not around, the Highlander syndrome is still in effect. Like, it don't matter if you completely separate men from women. Like, I get it, you talk about boys in a school, but I'm talking about once dudes are grown in a business, women are always in effect. It's always in effect. And people sometimes will say, well, it's the women. Like, take Boyce. It ain't them women's fault that Boyce simps like he does. That's who that nigga is. Because it's too many women just to cuss his ass out. that you would think would kind of shake him out of that a little bit or give him pause, but he still do the same shit. That nigga was simping for white bitches, like that Jewish chick that was on there that was saying, well, she was on there and then all of a sudden she wasn't. That professor. Like that's just who he is. And some of these dudes, that's who they are. And yeah, like, the reason why Mike gets a lot of heat, Mike Rashid, is because Mike is like the perfect amalgamation of like a gynocentric brute. So he's like a really great example of kind of where stuff is going. Where you got a lot of dudes that they can kind of make money off of, telling women what they want to hear. I call them emotional dope dealers. You know. So
Yeah, yeah. And why do you think they call it dope? That was a saying we used back in that. Never mind.
yeah,
Uh,
dopamine. Yeah, exactly.
uh,
Dopamine effect. When you tell somebody what they want to hear.
yeah, but listen up, fellas. And when I say listen up, you know what's coming next.
Yeah.
We are at the 3.5 hour
White
mark.
women getting on the pedal.
I guess. But for now, we're gonna get in our final words. I get in my final word, and then we close this thing down to Saturday night. So whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first and I'll be quick. It's been a very spirited discussion. I still stand by what I said. If y'all want to get a good laugh before y'all go to sleep, I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck if you give a fuck about her channel. Go and check out that video that I said, Mike Rashid, because that nigga gives a confession. And it was interesting because you really realize, like, you will be shocked at kind of some of the stuff that he says. And he's, by the way, he has said this on other platforms too, but he was very, very intimate. And if y'all don't believe me, what he said about that bathroom shit, like he was in the bathroom, go watch it. That's me.
And I'll go ahead and go. Yeah, this is on Passport Alls, but I just think this space is just for brothers to be able to, express their understandings of life and, you know, and teach what they know about life and how to stay aware, how to keep moving in life. We all gonna make some mistakes. We all gonna have our triumphs too. But I think that's what this space is for. And y'all and kid, thanks for having me up. And long live the habitual line steppers. And y'all stay up.
Long live Irv, long live. So Donnie.
Hey, yeah, long live the habitual line steppers. I am going to take my ass to bed. This was a funny conversation, a good conversation, an intricate conversation. Mike Rashid out his rabbit ass mind. Boyce Watkins, that nigga might have overtaken Russell Wilson at this point. I'm gonna say he's about a car length ahead of that nigga. But aside from that, as always, Weekend Warrior was doing his thing. So like, subscribe, comment. Y'all better check this man out before he get to the big dog status and y'all act like he act like he don't know us and shit. And y'all act like, I was there from day one. Hey, listen, y'all better support this man. But I'm gonna holler at you later. Hit me up. I'm going to bed, man. Ciao, nigga.
Word. And thanks for the kind, supportive words as always, Donnie. And I understand and recognize that there are people that are here for every broadcast every week, and I promise to keep myself humble, no matter what size I grow to, or even if these same people watch. Look, if I'm able to reach one person, I've done everything that I've needed to do. So that's real shit right there. And long live the habitual line steppers, the most important phrase in social media this day. And and for those that I was just mentioned, you can come to the cool table anytime you get ready. But as far as this space goes, exactly what is this space for? A lot of the animosity and the conflict does come from sort of a gynocentric programming and the Highlander complex that comes with it. And, although we could all sit there and wish that things could be better or could be less tense between black men, that conflict is going to be there. No matter how much we wish upon a star or throw pennies into the fountain at the mall, things are never going to be perfect. They're just not. There was a pretty heated, spirited discussion on women being in the space, and what I want people to remember is that whether women in the space or not, there are human choices being made. And by the way, shout out to Sister George. Sister George is a habitual line stepper, and it's not anybody's trying to ride anybody's coattails. We already had rapport with Sister George even before the breakdown existed, even before, a lot of this stuff existed. I mean, on Facebook. So, us really vouching for Sister George. We don't consider it simping, but she's blazing her own trail. So to her, long live the habitual line steppers, and long live the habitual line steppers to everyone who supports us on a week to week basis, whether it's Roger, whether it's Donnie, whether it's Darth Skater 7, whether it's the breakdown with Sister George, or whether it's this channel. And the whole point to me, giving mentions like that is because this is what this space encompasses: a variety of opinions and a variety of people who are black. We're not supposed to be under the same banner. We're not supposed to be under the same archetype. There are going to be differences of opinion, but we have to allow that discourse. If it was just one archetype, it'd be boring. It really would be. It wouldn't be interesting. So in order for this space to evolve, we have to allow certain things to happen. And it's not totally up to me. I can only be a content creator that can submit my 2 cents. And if someone thinks it's a good idea, then oh well, so be it. But we should value this space. We shouldn't feel a certain way just because certain groups of people feel that, as if this space is not productive, or this space doesn't hold merit, or the other vitriolic things that are often said about anything that black men put together. Because that's the one thing we have to face when we're not in accordance with a very harsh, bad. No, well, not harsh so much, because I do harsh opinions here. But when we're not in accordance with an opinion that is against black men, that isn't factual, then we face that adversity. And my hat's always going to be off to the people, and the black men especially, who push back against that adversity courageously. A lot of people don't have the mental strength to get up here and say what's on their mind. In fact, a lot of people, to that point, will even rail against the people who are being courageous just because they are afraid. And being afraid is no picnic whatsoever. It's a prison within itself. So if you want to stay in that prison or in that mindset, then that's you. But at least be smart enough. But anyway, that'll be it for now. I really do appreciate people who hung in there and is committed, because even like Good Mother was saying earlier, and by the way, thanks to everybody with the super chats. Like she was saying earlier, shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Just lost my train of thought, but you can always go back and watch this broadcast. But she was saying some very good things in the broadcast, and just like all of you. So, oh yeah, here's what she said: people's time is precious. People's time is precious. So she said that to the point I was making, that anyone that commits to watching a person for 3 or 4 hours deserves a gold star, and definitely proves that the black manosphere and spaces like that, like this, will be the new television. We are the new thought leaders, because this is where people are coming. If that weren't the case, then you'll still take all of those little programmed, scripted, indoctrinated messages that you find in your mainstream media. So just keep a close eye out for us and for even some of the newer content creators as well. So anyway, this is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. It is definitely late AF, and I have a busy day tomorrow, which involves grilling out for family members. And it's not because it's Juneteenth. It's because it's Saturday, and family members are in town. So have a good weekend, everyone. Stay safe, and hopefully I will see the lot of you for Saturday evening's program, which I do not have a topic for, but whatever it will be, I'm sure it'll be good. Thank you to Black Guru, BGS, Perfect Timing Podcast, the Roger Report, who dropped off early before final statements. Yes, and everyone who showed up tonight. So long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Goodbye for now.